What is going on, gentlemen? Apologies for springing this live stream on you out of nowhere because I just looked up and saw that Underchronic will be doing a live stream himself. So I might as well get this one out the way. It won't be long, it will just be a couple hours. But I know you guys heard me talk about this often and all the time, but we need to emphasize how important it is to have your health on point for you to work on having optimal health. Okay, it's going to be a pretty good conversation, but before we start, I'm going to add you already know who's coming. Gray, what's going on?
Evening Warband. I actually just finished dinner, so this is pretty prudent.
All right, so everything just lined up together.
Indeed. Yeah, because now my main thing, like for me, it's always been like, think 2,000 calories is enough for the day, and then after 2 years of living like that, you're like, oh wait, I need to eat the whole extra thousand this entire time. No wonder I'm not bulking up.
Pretty much. Oh, it's people will love to say that working out is a science. Yeah, it is, but it's, in my opinion, it's pretty simple. But what would you say, Gray?
Oh, there's definitely a science aspect to it. I mean, I wouldn't say it isn't a science,
Nope.
but you don't need to apply rigorous scientific practices. And realistically, you can't because every single human body is unique. You're going to have your own metabolism, genetics, your height, your weight, muscle, the body fat ratio. So the only way to even test yourself on a physical level is for you to control the variables, and you have to be your own control group.
I agree. Things can okay, things are not hard in a sense of dealing with becoming, how you say, all jacked and stuff, or losing fat, whatever. But I agree with what Gray said. Everybody's different. We all can't follow the exact same plan and expect the same results. We always got to tweak the how do I say? You always got to tweak the plan that will work for you the best. So, um but I want to ask everybody in the chat right now. Everybody in the chat. How many of you guys are going to the gym? I'm curious. How many of you guys are going to the gym? Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to the gym. Well, he technically doesn't have to put a 1 in the chat, but what's going on, Island Hermit? Hopefully getting them gains.
Yeah, definitely seeing some. And even if you can't go to the gym or there's not one convenient or nearby, at the very least, you should be doing calisthenics at home.
I agree. And let's say that you don't work out per se.
That might,
Are you guys having a good diet? Are you guys taking your diet seriously? You don't have to be strict, but it needs to be disciplined enough to where you don't get too skinny, too fat, having all weird health issues going on the inside because you can't put down a pack of Oreos, the mega stuff ones.
well, it goes beyond that too. You need to have a diet appropriate to your lifestyle. Like if most of your day is spent sitting at a desk and you don't get a lot of physical activity, 2,000 calories might be a high end for you. Whereas if you're doing a lot of physical lifting, walking, running, all that kind of stuff every day of the week, then you probably have to up that to 2,500 to 3,000 calories, depending on your weight goal.
Yeah, of course. Gray is 100% correct here. And based on what we are saying right now, I personally believe there is no excuse that any person here can't go to the gym. or work out at home, or work out at the park. There's plenty of places and timing where you can work out for at least 20 to 30 minutes. And there's 24 hours in the day. So it kind of irks me at times when people tell me that they don't have time to work out. I'm like, yes, you do. You just finding excuses.
Now, and even going into that, it's like, okay, maybe you can't find a 1 hour time block specifically. So maybe you can't do the optimal, let's do my proper cycles with rest period. I guarantee that you have enough time to do push ups to failure. And you have enough time to do that 3 to 5 times per day, wherever the heck you are.
Yep. Because my experience when it comes to uh doing the workouts in the military, we work out anywhere, anytime, 24 fucking 7. Okay. Because I know there's different factors on the motivation, right? Military, you have no choice but to work out. That's your job. But out here, you don't really have to, how do I say, put it in front of the list. But that's why I'm making this live stream. It's a, yeah, even though you don't have to, it'll be in your best interest, especially with everything that's happening today. I highly suggest that you become fit enough, just in case.
Yeah. Like one idea of something that like even the most sedentary of lifestyles could do is if you've got to watch something on the computer and it's 5 minutes, push your chair away and do body squats.
Yep. I guess what I had to do to stay awake if I was in class. I'd just go to the back of the class if possible, and I do push-ups. If I'm tired at work, I do push-ups. Like, I'm serious. Like, I really, like, I have sympathy of people that, you know, tries their best to avoid the gym because hell, everybody has one of those days where you really don't feel like going to the gym. Okay, understandable. But the fact that you know that you are way below your threshold on how fit you can possibly be, and you don't even have to have muscles. Fuck it. Okay, just being able to be versatile, being fit, at least being able to climb over a fence. That's no excuse. That's no excuse. What'd you say, Gray?
Well, and beyond that, I can understand like certain exercises being impossible, like because you've injured yourself. Like I've been having issues with that at work, and I've had to experiment with different ways of walking, different braces to attach to parts of my body to minimize that. So I can understand if you don't feel like doing a bunch of squats when one of your legs refuses to bend without screaming in anguish.
I agree. I agree. But the fact that I see somebody with no legs fucking killing it in the gym, I'm like, holy shit, I have no excuse. I have no excuse. Like that dude is strong as hell for having no legs. Holy shit. What the fuck am I doing? I should be outworking this guy, but he's outworking me. And you know, men are naturally competitive, so that's a natural response, in my opinion. You know, you want to be the biggest dog in the room, or at least the fittest. So
Yeah, having one other person that you can reliably go to the gym with as a buddy, spotter, competitor, rival, whatever, like that'll go a hell of a long way for your motivation.
yep. And I agree with Island Herman said, if you can't do 2 plates, I feel bad. In my opinion, the average man, if he goes to the gym, he should be able to do at least 2 plates. Just 2 plates. That's it. I know I'm making it sounding a lot easier than it should. Because don't get me wrong, you know, I couldn't lift this in freshman year of high school.
Well,
All right, it
okay,
sounds like I'm talking
here,
shit.
here would be my question. Okay, like lifting is one thing. How many reps would be
Just one.
expected?
Just one.
1 rep of 225.
That's it. That's literally my okay. So if somebody wants to act all big and bad, like, ooh, look at me, I'm like, okay, whether it's in person or real life, I'm like, okay, you bench 225. If you can't, then I can't take you seriously. You may have some fighting skills and all that stuff, but I'm telling you right now, at least strength wise, I'll match you.
Yeah, well, personally, I think I'd qualify on the weaker end of things. I wouldn't even attempt 225 without a spotter.
Oh, that is a sidetrack. You, if you know that you're gonna slightly struggle with a certain weight, you always have a spotter. Hell, with me, 99.99% of the time, I always have a spotter. Don't be afraid to ask somebody in the gym. Doesn't matter if you're new. Like, there's plenty of gym bros that's willing to help you out. Okay. See, when it comes to staying fit, there's a community, right? Uh, where even though you guys don't meet up and have meetings and stuff, the gym is pretty much a community for fit people. And in every community, there's always going to be those toxic motherfuckers. Understandable, but overall, majority of people in the gym are willing to help you out to get better. Okay, especially other men, because who knows if that man was bullied for being too small or wasn't able to do certain things because he was too small, or the opposite way. How do you know that guy you see that's all jacked was severely obese? They can relate, and they are. I say 9 times out of 10, they are willing to help. What do you have to say about that, Gray?
Well, absolutely. Like, no one gets to be jacked without first being weak and then putting in a shit ton of hard work. And they've guaranteed seen tons of people in their lives who bitch about how weak they are but never put any effort. Like, at that point, I think it'd be very rare to find someone who gets jacked and doesn't respect someone trying to achieve a high level of fitness.
Exactly. Like, once again, don't get me wrong, men are always competitive. It is what it is. But at the same time, especially when it comes to getting testosterone flowing, seeing some progress, seeing you becoming a better version of yourself each and every day. People in the gym wants to see you make it. They want to see you make it. They're gonna make sure that you don't outpace them. They'll start lifting heavier weights. Like, oh man, this guy's catching up. Holy crap! I taught him too much. They still are completely happy if because I had a lot of people saying that, oh, when I go to the gym, if they're too skinny or too obese, like, oh, people just staring at me, I'm so uncomfortable, blah blah blah. How do you know that it's negative? Nine
Well,
times out, no, I'm just saying, 9 times out of 10, they're not looking at you in disapproval. They're like, I see you there. Okay, go get them gains. Because not once I judged somebody when it comes to how they look or how they do a certain workout, right? Because don't get me wrong, once again, there's toxic people in the gym, like that guy or that girl. But overall, guys like me, and there's plenty of guys like me, are willing to help you if you ask, or willing to come and, hey, uh, let me show you how it's actually done to do this workout, since I can tell you haven't done it before.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, that's the thing. And a lot of these people who complain about, like, oh, I don't like how people look at me, say, okay, A, you probably don't even go to the gym and differentiate between people looking at you there and people looking at you when you're out in the street scarfing down an ice cream cone.
Okay, yeah, the completely different setting, completely two different scenarios. I agree, Gray.
Yeah. Like, yeah, there are absolutely people who will look at you being a fat ass in public and they'll absolutely fucking judge you.
Yep, or
The
being too
gym is,
small.
yeah, or yeah, fuck yeah, being too small. I mean, I've looked at quite a number of guys and girls, and I've gone, God damn, like I'm not exactly buff here, but I'm pretty sure I could snap their arms like balsa wood.
Exactly. And what's it called? Even though, um, how do I say? Because it happens a lot in the military as well with the small guys. When I mean small guys, I mean people who don't really have that much muscle. They're just lanky, pretty much. Um, they constantly say, hey bro, you need to start eating more. You need to start eating more, man. You need to eat extra MREs and all that stuff. I'm like, how do you know he's not doing it already? He told me a few days ago he literally eats a bunch of pasta and a bunch of pizza every day. His metabolism is godlike. He like he needs more health than just eat more.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
you gotta also eat right. I mean, it's one thing to hit your calories, but you got to get your appropriate protein levels. The complexity of the carbs matters quite a bit as well, and you need all the like various vitamins, minerals. You can't there's a huge difference between 2,000 carbs worth of donuts and 2,000 carbs worth of ground beef.
I agree, but I don't blame what that one soldier did because I see that he was doing that out of desperation. Because yeah, believe it or not, you can get in trouble in the military for being too small if they
Oh,
consider you underweight.
hmm. Well, I can understand that, like for on the ground. Hmm.
You can get in trouble for having sunburn. Fun fact, because technically you're government property, so you
That
can't
is
be
true, and
you
not
can't
that's true. At
be
that point, your body belongs to the government, and failing to look
you,
after it is damaging government property.
yep, you can't be damaging government property. So uh you can legit get in trouble, and they will legit put you on a program if you're too small to have you eat two servings of whatever's in the chow hall or extra MREs when you're in the field to try to make you gain weight. Yeah, that happens. Fun fact, gentlemen.
But they're not going to hold women to the standard of being able to lift one of their fallen male comrades onto a helicopter.
No, there's okay. I know they have a new fitness test now, but before, yeah, they definitely don't hold them to the same standards.
Yeah, no, no,
They're
that was the funny thing is I once got into an argument with a guy over. Like he said, like, oh, women can be in the military. It's like, how many women do you know who can lift 250 pounds over their head? And he's like, well, when do women need to do that? And I said, when women need to lift their injured comrades into an evac helicopter.
no, they never had to. No,
That's the thing. He had no response for that because he didn't think that lifting that much weight would ever be necessary in the military. He's like, no, a fully geared soldier. Yeah, I think 250 pounds is probably a conservative estimate.
uh, their minimum their maximum is our minimum. That's how low the standard was. I repeat, gentlemen, their maximum in the physical fitness test is our minimum. So just imagine the difference. They only had to do 17 push-ups to pass their push-up test. Yeah, only 17.
No, I'm
Yeah.
like, honestly, if you want, like, this was one of the craziest demonstrations of power of man. Like, I forget exactly what you'd call the context. It was kind of like Frosh Week at university or something, some kind of team building exercise. I straight up fucking fireman carried a woman who I'm sure weighed more than me. And I hadn't even been to the inside of a gym until that point. I could still fucking like sprint with someone who had at least a couple pounds on me on my back, dead weight.
Oh yeah, during a morning exercise, we were doing those type of drills for working out, and one time I had to carry a female soldier around my size, and I was zooming, right? I'm like, yeah, let's go for a little jog. And then when she tried to pick me up, like she legit was like, you know, doing the baby deer walk. I'm like, you see the clear difference? Like, it's insane. But in all seriousness, when it comes to being too skinny, and I saw just one guy, what was his where's his stuff? Because he said that somebody in his can't find it. God damn it, too blind. All right, yeah, there was a guy in my platoon that was below 110 pounds. How tall was he? Because yeah, that's another thing. Even though I still believe that's too damn like light.
110 pounds, unless the guy is under 5 feet, that's probably way too light.
Yeah, yeah, and well, once again, the skinny soldier I was talking about, he was eating all that junk food just out of desperation because he did not know what to do besides his superiors telling him to eat more, eat more. Like you said, it depend. It's all about what kind of foods you put in your body.
Yeah. Like junk food, it might work for a bit. I'd have to revisit biology to figure out what converts the easiest because your body's got to break everything down. Simple sugars in junk food would break down pretty fast. But then there's a question of how much is being stored. So I don't
Well,
know. I'm going to bet pastry would go a long way.
yeah, but definitely avoid the empty calories, gentlemen. It does you no good. Your body doesn't need it. You can have it, here and there. I'm not saying you can't eat junk food, but don't let that be your primary source because your body will get all kinds of jacked up. You may stay skinny, but your insides are not doing good. And see, that's a big thing, right? When it comes to people that lifts all the time, like I can eat whatever I want. I can eat whatever I want. Sure, but you really
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
that?
yeah. Yeah, try going on a no protein diet while lifting. See how far that gets you.
And exactly. What? No, whatever protein they get is what McDonald's, Wendy's, Outback, whatever it is. They say, "Oh, I can eat whatever I please." But remember, gentlemen, have you guys looked at the ingredients in the back of the packages to see what you're really digesting? Half of the words you can't even pronounce. You
Well, to
you
be to be fair, getting people to pronounce dihydrogen monoxide is pretty hard too.
right, but I'm just saying, like, why can't you make an effort to eat foods that you can pronounce, and you know that the food that you're eating is the food that you're eating.
Yeah, but that's the thing. The pronunciation argument's always been a bit weird for me because, like, for example, polysaccharides. Like, what does that sound like to you?
Well, say it one time.
Polysaccharides.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's basically grain, wheat, complex carbohydrates.
Right. You do look it up on Google, huh?
I had to double check, but I remember that from bio class.
But the biggest thing that I'm trying to say is, gentlemen, is yeah, you have a very high metabolism. Yeah, you work out every day, clanging and banging, getting those gains. But remember, just because you look fit doesn't mean you are at optimal health on the inside. You wonder why people that eat whatever they please throughout their 20s and 30s and maybe even 40s die in their 50s or 60s.
Oh god, or they get so fucking fat. Like seriously, like I've seen some guys who like were basically like Chads 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and it's like, damn man, the fuck happened to you?
Yeah, and even if they are fit, people are confused on why they died from cardiac uh not cardiac cardiovascular disease. I think that's what's called heart disease, whatever. um
Yeah, because now there's a bit of a debate on like how bad like various fats are for you because with sufficient exercise, the bad fat can be turned to good fat. I think it's like LDL versus HDL. And it's the LDL that's the bad stuff. But as Primal Study says, yes, you can't outwork a bad diet.
Yeah, you cannot,
And
because
when it comes to the fat specifically, animal fat and olive oil, that's what, like maybe butter, that's about as far as you want to go.
real butter.
Like real butter. Cut out like no margarine, no canola oil, no corn oil. Cut that shit out of your diet.
Oh yeah, when my parents found out when I was a kid on how bad the canola oils and all that stuff were, they immediately eat it in the trash. They're like, oh, "This is bad. This is we are not using that anymore." And all we use for the most part is uh the sprays. Those
Cooking spray, yeah,
cooking
anti-stick
sprays,
spray.
real butter. Uh, Later on they started to use ghee, but never that processed stuff.
Oh, and honestly, I think it's a big part with the US specifically is that you use corn syrup for a lot of your sugars. That's bad shit.
Yeah, and that's why people wonder, like, oh no, Sir Yeetus, why you don't eat sugar? Why you don't eat sugar? Like, first off, I don't even have a taste for sugar anymore. I did when I was younger, but I don't anymore at all. Two, sugar, as time went on and people studied it, sugar is I agree with the person I said earlier. It's evil. It is evil. Okay, sugar is not your friend.
Well, okay, now there's very specific sugars which aren't your friend. Because if you're going to say sugar isn't your friend, then you have to cut fruit and milk out of your
Okay,
diet. It's
I see what you're saying,
it
but
is glucose, sucrose specifically. That's the
anything,
bad shit.
uh, anything that you can't get from cane sugar, I don't have a problem with. Um, Natural sugars, I have no problem with. Okay, I'm saying anything that's processed, hell no, hell no,
That's the
no,
thing.
no,
It's
no,
like
no, no, no.
it's I don't know, it's like glucose, lactose, I believe sucrose. I have to double check which are the three basic sugars, but those in their basic form, like fructose, that's the foundation of what makes fruits sweet. You need that stuff. Lactose, it's an essential part of milk. You can't get rid of that. Like
I wouldn't
sucrose,
say need.
milk's kind of debatable.
Oh, not milk, but with the fruit. I don't touch fruit like that at all. You know, I'm still pretty good.
Yeah,
I had my tests done. Pretty good.
but you wouldn't say that fruit sugar is the same as candy sugar.
No, 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 no. If you're going to eat sugar, definitely
Oh,
try to go for the natural one.
oh yeah, and yeah, sorry, I remembered glucose. Glucose is the foundation of like all grains, all plant fiber based stuff. Anything carbohydrate related usually contains glucose. Like that's what plants convert. Like, that's how plants store their energy as glucose. It is incredibly foundational.
Yep. And even eating a lot of carbs, you guys need to be careful on how much carbs you eat. Uh, I have a low intake of carbs. I'm not saying that carbs is bad. Okay, carbs is great for immediate energy, but you shouldn't be eating a shit ton of carbs every single day. That's not good. That's the quickest way for you to start getting that little belly, get those thick thighs and shit. Okay, anything in access and if I'm saying it right, in access is it's a bad thing. Okay, that's pretty much the whole premises of what I was trying to say about these things, right? But sugar, especially, and we're talking about the glucose, the fructose, and all that stuff. I say avoid it like the plague. You know, have it once in a while, sure, but every day, oh, you're fucked. I'm talking about over years of eating all this sugary sweets and all this junk food. You are screwed on the long run. I seen somebody uh go out in the body bag because he refused to eat properly, even though he was fit. I seen him go out in the body bag
Yeah.
at
So
late in his late 30s, even though he was, he got them gains. Yeah, still, his heart was like, nope, yeet, gone. Yeah, heart attack. Like people like don't like to listen when it comes to, oh, as long as I, hit the gym, I can eat whatever I want. That's not how life works.
no. And from what I'm seeing with what chat's combining, am I a little bit looking around? Fructose is probably of the three sugars the worst one for you. Like you can process it, but it's the primary ingredient in like high fructose corn syrup. Whereas sucrose, that's more your basic carbohydrate. So that stuff's the most common thing that you're going to be able to eat safely.
I agree. And OG, what about wheat bread?
Yeah.
Wheat bread is better than white bread.
Yeah. And wheat bread would be primarily sucrose because, like your basic rule of thumb is, sorry, glucose is plant, like most plant material, your grains. Fructose is specifically your fruit, what makes it sweet, and lactose is in milk. And of the three, humans are most compatible with sucrose.
Okay, where is that one question? I know somebody asked me a question about the steak. I completely forgot to answer that. That's my bad. But I like my steak medium rare to okay. I like my steak from medium rare to blue, depending on how much time I have to eat. So I don't do that well done shit. That pisses me off. It's either medium rare all the way to blue. Because I know a couple of times, in the military, sometimes you wake up late or you get called in to like, hey, we need you over here, we need you over there. You need to, hurry up and eat or do what you gotta do very quickly. And I sometimes got in the habit of just eating the steak on the stove and searing it for around a minute and a half, 2 minutes each side. That was good enough for me.
Yeah, but to answer just some random guy's question, basically everything that comes from plants contains sucrose. Like anything outside of the fruit itself, so all vegetables, all grains, like anything that isn't meat or fruit, basically, it's going to contain sucrose to some extent.
Lion the MGTOW, why? Why? Why do you like your steak well done? No. um, I want to ask. Okay, this is a good question. I want to see you guys' answer. Everybody in the chat, how do you like your steak? Let me know. I want to see it. Be honest too. Don't worry, you won't get you just angry a little bit.
Yeah, I see some variation so far with that.
Yeah, let me see how you like your steak, chat. Tell me how you like your steak, because now I'm curious. But overall, when it comes to a stable diet, at least for me, my main thing to go to is protein, fats, and vegetables. Right,
Yeah.
and
Well, actually,
low carb intake.
actually, that's a funny thing specifically with fats. Fats have been demonized so much that they were taken out of food, and there's a bunch of low fat food. Do you know what they replaced all the fats with in order to make it taste good again?
What?
Sugar.
Told you, sugar is evil.
Yeah. Right? Straight up. They demonized fats by, let's think, I think an essential nutrient that is very dense in energy. I mean, it's the closest that humans are going to get to drinking gasoline, if we're being honest here. In terms of nutritional energy density, fats are incredibly useful and they digest and break down fairly well. Plus, we need various fats in order to keep our bodies functioning, specifically our brains. So what do?
Oh, no,
They
what
call
okay.
they call an obese person fat, make fats something that's negatively stigmatized into a void, and then they replace it all with sugar, which the body breaks down and converts to the various things that are clogging up our arteries.
I agree, and we're gonna sidetrack before we continue because I'll explain right quick. Uh, pretty much keto. But to Island Herman and everybody else that's been donating the past few days, thank you very much. I turned the super chat back on because things got resolved between me and Susan when it comes to super chat. Okay. Um
Did you have
and
to eat any tuna?
ugh, ugh. No way, I would rather starve to death. I would much rather lose my gains. Ugh, I can't even think of that's disgusting. Okay. But there's more projects incoming. More projects. After my 100th live stream, you guys are going to be seeing even better stuff. Just get ready. Things are just going up from here. I love it. Okay.
Uh, Now, sorry, I just want to address one thing. Thal the Sentient mentioned cultures obsessed with eating pig fat. Pigs are an interesting kind of exception to the rule because pigs are very high in sodium. So I'd be curious to see if it's differentiated between high blood pressure due to the fats or high blood pressure due to the sodium content. Because I've had high blood pressure issues myself, and they were resolved by cutting a large amount of sodium out of my diet.
I avoid pork at all costs. I do not eat pork. No, 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 no. Don't get me wrong. I had it before, but like maybe once or twice just to see how it tastes. But after reading per se on how pork can have a higher risk of, parasites and diseases and stuff compared to, fish, turkey, chicken, beef, I avoid pork at all costs.
Yeah, admittedly, of all the meats, pork's probably the one that you would like to cut out the most. It's just a pity that bacon's so delicious.
Whoa, line of Migta, let's not go that far. Let's not go that far, okay?
If he wants to go that far, he can. But at the very least, like it would be a good idea to not make any of those, no pork, no shrimp, no lobster, as part of your primary diet.
I eat turkey bacon as well. Turkey bacon is good if you know how to cook turkey bacon and what kind of turkey bacon you get. It's pretty good. I also and beef bacon exists actually, believe it or not. Or you can just make your own. So
Yeah. Yeah. Like honestly, we all, aside from some of the health nuts here who really have this shit down pat, most of us can probably make some subtle to minor adjustments to marginally improve our health. And that is part of it too. Like don't try to completely switch up everything. Like if you can just find what is the worst thing in your regular diet that you consume and either cut it out or replace it with an acceptable alternative, that in itself will produce results.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. Uh yes, line of McTow, beef bacon actually exists. It's pretty much, you know, bacon made out of beef. But surprisingly it does exist. Um and a new foe. Are you vegetarian? Let me know if you're vegetarian.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Anolfo is vegetarian. He's been spreading the word of the vegetarians for a while now.
Ah, so he's a fan of vegan gains, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably.
It's all good. It's all good. Hey, we just talk shit. You know how it is. Um. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about. See, when it comes to fat, right? I've been studying this, not like sciencey wise, but I've been looking it up on my own for 8 years now, 7 years now, and the process of ketosis actually does work. And I'm only going to explain it in simplest terms. See, when it comes to eating carbohydrates, right? The liver. Pretty sure it's a liver.
Yeah,
That
that's the one that separates out poison. So
well, yeah, but it's the one that transfers the glucose into energy. I think it is as well. I forgot, but
I'll look it up.
yeah, look it up, please. But eventually, that energy is just gonna run out, right? Because carbs is supposed to be immediate energy, not a long term energy. When I switch over to doing the keto diet, oh, it worked wonders because it'll take a while or it will be very quickly, depending on what type of body you have, that you will go into ketosis. Ketosis is pretty much where your body switches from using glucose as a main energy source into fat. So if your body switches to that point, you'll be more prone to having a lot more energy because fat can be used a longer than carbs in the sense of if you eat protein, high protein, uh, uh, a moderate fat, and little to no carbs, your body be like, oh, okay, I'll be able to slowly. So how do I explain it? How do I explain it? Carbs is a quick burn. Fats is a slow burn when it comes to energy.
Yes, and that's because of how they break down. Now,
Ketones. I forgot to mention that.
now specifically with the liver, it acts as your glucose reservoir. So when you have an abundance, it takes the glucose and stores it as a longer chain. And when you need it, it breaks down those chains and introduces it into the bloodstream. So you have a fairly regular supply. It's actually where diabetes comes in quite a bit.
Shut up. All right. Well, what'd you say?
Now, so yeah, the liver is the regulator for glucose by both storing it and breaking down your stores of glycogen, which it makes from glucose. Now, specifically with keto, with a very low glucose content. Now, you are going to get a slower burn, but this is where we get back into polysaccharides actually, because plant fiber from vegetables, that is actually made out of glucose at its very base, but they're in very long, complex chains that take a lot longer to break down. Whereas something like bread or like even just straight glucose or the basic sugars, that stuff is much simpler in form and doesn't need to be broken down as far before it's at a point where the body can use it.
Yep. That's why it burns a lot more quickly. I always um before there was like a physical fitness test, I eat a good amount of carbs the day before. Not the day of, the day before. Just so you can have some type of carbs, just you know, ready glucose, I mean, ready to go. Because that's the immediate energy that you're gonna be needing.
Now, that's where it gets interesting because the liver is where your glucose reserves are stored. If your liver's got an abundance of glycogen, it will make it, but this is where popping something like a quick burst of sugar or eating some fruit to get some fructose real fast, that can give you a quick energy burst when you need it because your body will just go, oh, okay, I don't need to spend any energy converting this from the liver. I can just take what's in it here right now.
True. I eat a banana early in the morning before the physical fitness starts. I agree.
Yeah, apples, same way. Like they can really wake you up and give you that energy burst. But if you don't use all the energy from that, then the liver has to convert it into glycogen to store for later. So,
Island Herman, thank you for another super chat. Let's go. Veganism is a cult. You know what? Honestly, in the future, I'm gonna see if I can debate a vegan. Like honestly, have a legit debate. Okay, no screaming, no yelling at each other. Just legit sit down and see our different point of views. So we'll be able to. No, well, it's not. Wait. What's up? What's up?
well, no, like Anolfo seems like he has an interesting perspective on it because he says he's not doing it for animal welfare, but he does believe that it's actually got some benefits. So he's probably someone who we could get to call in at some point.
Well, if he wants to call in once we I'm talking about a whole different stream.
Yeah, because we got a little under an hour before Chronic starts.
Right. So definitely, if you want to come on, or if anyone a vegan that wants to come on to the show and actually be able to trade viewpoints, at the end of the day, it's for the chat. It's not for me, not for you.
That's the thing. We're not going to convince each other back and forth, but by us essentially making a case, kind of like in a law room, like you have, that's the thing. We're effectively lawyers, and the jury is the chat.
Well, Nufo, I'm pretty sure you called in before. I just can't remember, but I'm pretty sure you did before. But once the stream starts in the future, I'll definitely let you know. I would definitely invite you. But hey, no getting angry and go freaking nuts. Talking about the slaughterhouses. All lives matter. I'm like, oh my god. Okay. Yeah. You need to understand that eating meat is also a natural thing per se. I'm not saying you, Anufo, but the vegans in general can't understand that since the dawn of time, humans have eaten meat. They also have eaten plants. We've eaten both.
Yeah. And honestly, I could bring up a couple other points, but I think I'll save that for when we have the actual discussion.
Okay. Too easy.
But at the very least, like, we can all agree that you do need a certain quantity of macronutrients, however we get them. And there's going, I think, if you're not going to get certain things from meat, you do need to get them from elsewhere.
Okay. So, Anufo, if you have it, get ready to call in. I want to hear your points. And not only your points, I want to hear your point of view. I want to hear it. I think it would be a great conversation.
Yeah. But definitely the biggest thing that anyone can do for their health right now is, like, take a look at what you eat. Just think about it during the week. Like 1 week's worth of food, all the meals that you have, and then try to get an idea for these are the ingredients. The biggest shock for me was, like, I used to eat like sausages on the regular, nice spicy freaking sausages.
That is good, yeah.
Well, yeah, here's the thing. Then one day I heard that these blood issues might actually be related to sodium. So I looked at these things, and holy shit, the amount of sodium per sausage was obscene.
Is it worse than ramen noodles?
It might have been, honestly. Like, it was an obscenely high amount of sodium, like, per sausage. I was eating 2 of these things per day.
Because I know when I was younger, my parents tend to make us only use half the seasoning packet, but I usually sneak around and put in the entire thing. Yeah. I need the flavor.
Yeah, well, for me it was like, goddamn, this is what's happening. And then I cut out, I just cut those out of my diet, nothing else. I swapped those out for fresh ground beef, which has no sodium content. And the next day, my joints were hurting from sodium withdrawal.
Uh-oh.
No, that's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Because, like,
I was saying, because you were in pain.
Yeah, but it's like when you quit caffeine and you get a headache for a while, it's like, holy shit, I was having that much. That was that much of an issue.
Where's the oh, okay, right there. Josh, there's plenty of people that only eat meat. Check out Dr. Sean. I know who Dr. Sean Baker is, and there are plenty of people that only eat meat, and for the most part, it does work majority of the time. It does, but
now, at the same time,
what's up?
Well, that's the thing. One thing with only eating meat is, like, you can't just eat the same type of meat. You have to actually eat a wide variety of organs.
I was just about to say that. Okay. I was like, the organs are the ones that's the most dense in nutrients.
Well, I think liver specifically contains vitamin C. So, like if you go on a meat only diet and you're not eating your liver, you will get scurvy.
Yeah, and liver is gross, but it's optimal for your health. Like vegetables. Sometimes you don't like broccoli, but at times you have to eat it here and there for your health. But speaking of the meat only diet, I it hasn't really been researched enough on how it will affect you decades to come. But I will say still add vegetables. If you're
Yeah.
just going to eat strictly meat and veggies, pretty much the keto diet. But there's been issues of people that only eat meat, like you said, having scurvy, having severe constipation, all that stuff. Even the famous bodybuilder that only ate steak and eggs, and that dude was jacked. Eventually, he added eat vegetables on top of that. Add vegetables.
Well, no,
So,
and there's another reason for vegetables that aren't even nutrition related, but you do want a large amount of fiber in your diet because it acts as a scrubbing system for your digestive tract and helps keep it clean.
yep, you don't want to be constipated, backed up like a motherfucker.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, if you eat only meat, there's no fiber in that. Like, it'll just be fluid passing through you all the times. It'll be really smooth, but that means that you can get like masses building up on your intestinal walls and whatnot. And you need fibers that don't digest in order to scrape that stuff away.
Exactly, and
Like, there's
line
no drinking Drano to clear out those pipes.
right, and line the MGTOW. I see what you're saying. You don't you don't eat bottom feeders, don't do you? Because that's pretty much what I'm assuming right now. You don't eat anything that bottom feeds. Pigs, lobsters, shrimp, catfish, bottom feeders. Technically saying that they'll eat whatever is available. Like hell, pigs will actually eat human if it's possible.
So, Thal the Sentient, safe to eat meat for every meal if paired with vegetables. It really depends on the meat and the vegetables. There's no hard rule. You do have to make sure you're getting proper nutritional variety. The preparation of the food matters quite a bit as well. So, as a rule of thumb, it's definitely not bad, but going for an extremely strict diet, you really need to know what you're getting into so that you don't cause yourself problems. Like, at the end of the day, understanding what you're eating and why you're eating it is what's most important, not restricting arbitrary food groups based on whatever's popular at the moment. Yeah, do you muted or something? Or did you step away to get some Fiji water?
No, I'm here. I'm here. Just keep going. I have to do something for a bit.
Yeah, all right. I'll just see what I can bounce off the chat. All right. Fish, I don't have a huge amount of experience with myself, but there's more than enough cultures that have gotten by on a seafood diet. So it's not exactly a bad thing. Well, actually, now this is something to consider with vegetables. Raw vegetables aren't necessarily the best for you because they're actually very hard to break down. Steaming them, chopping them up, like anything that you can do to break it down so that you're not just eating the raw plant will make them easier to digest and lets you get the nutrients out. Like, otherwise, at a certain point, you're just basically eating raw celery stalks, and that's just fiber passing through you. But yeah, steamed Brussels sprouts, personally, steamed broccoli, I love to death. Like, boiled carrots, anything that makes it so that your body can extract the nutrients easier rather than relying on just all your internal chemistry to deal with it.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, I was just going into some of the details on preparing vegetables is better for your nutrition absorption and digestion than just eating them raw.
Vegetables. Mm, It doesn't really. Okay, definitely cooking them will be a better factor, but it depends on the vegetable as well. Because you know, I like my celery raw.
Plus, the celery is one thing raw, and I would definitely agree with that. But you're not really eating celery for the nutritional value.
No, no, because it's pretty much mostly water.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Celery is great for like if you just need fiber. Like that's honestly probably some of the best just pure fiber stuff. But something like broccoli, where you're really hoping to get like some potassium out of it, that you would want to steam at the very least.
Right. And it will be a lot easier to digest anyway. I agree. If you steam it, like actually cook it.
Well, and that's the thing. If it's easier to digest, then you're going to get more nutrition out of it because your body absorbs all the nutrition in the small intestine. So if you're getting a whole bunch of solid, hard to break down chunks into your small intestine, it's just going to go to your large and become dehydrated, and you're not going to get near as much as if it had broken down more before that point.
Yes. But don't overcook it either.
Yeah, if you overcook it, then you better be drinking all the water that you cooked it in order to get your nutritions back.
Yeah, pretty much. And that goes for all food. Never overcook your food. Okay. That's why, at least in my opinion, when it comes to well done steak, that's another reason why I go no farther than medium rare. Because I believe that a lot of nutrition is cooked out of the steak.
In general, I think I'd agree with that, but I don't know enough to say for sure.
Well,
Well,
me
funny.
neither, but I believe
It was funny actually looking at bacon. Found out that just the act of cooking bacon takes out half the calories.
pretty much, yeah, I agree. But I do believe that, you know, literally cooking the steak completely well done is pretty much all the nutrients just leaving the steak, because I use that rule for majority of food, right? Oh, I heard it's here.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, on the other hand, there's a number of meats. Like, really, beef is the only meat I believe that you can eat partially uncooked. That's why you can get all these varieties to steak, but you're never going to have freaking medium rare chicken, not unless you want to be praying to the porcelain bowl for the next couple hours.
Yeah, I'll smack the hell out of somebody coming at me talking about you want a medium rare chicken. Like what the?
Or worse, medium rare pork. Like, there is a reason. Like, in fact, there's many reasons, but like a pork sandwich, if you were in freaking the desert of Exodus, yeah, that shit would kill you. And they didn't know that, so it was just God's divine punishment.
Do you want chicken tartare? A salmonella special. Oh shit. But that's why cooking your food is important. That's mainly the reason why a lot of scientists believe that we developed cognitively, uh, because we switched from eating everything raw to cooking our meats properly, cooking our food over a fire. They believe that because of that, we were able to expand our brains or whatever, or have greater brain capacity.
It's definitely something to that. I think I, again, we have to get it more into the like, where do we split off from the tree dwellers? I think comparing us to chimps would be very fascinating in terms of pure dietary intake, because we know that chimps are perfectly capable of consuming meat, but I'm pretty sure that meat in general isn't on their typical menu.
No, not at all. But I wonder when we started as humans started eating meat.
Pretty sure it
I,
was when we were driven out of the trees, honestly.
or Ice Age as well, you believe? Where
Oh, pre-ice age.
yeah, where the plants weren't as available. They had to, you know, hunt down other beings, just out of desperation, just like, this tastes pretty good.
Well, again, it goes back to there's a bit of a debate whether we went from the trees to the land ape or whether we went from the trees to the water ape. But either of those would have switched up our diets from more plant based with a whole bunch of the fruits and nuts in the trees to like animals on the ground, where we had to adopt a pursuit hunting method or a swimming hunting method, both which would have resulted in the loss of body hair.
Right. And the fact that we had to use up so much energy, and grains and fruits and all that stuff, it's not good enough per se, especially when it's not available during the winter, which I believe, we became omnivores.
Well, keep in
at that
mind,
point.
winter wasn't really a concern at that point because we were in sub-Saharan Africa.
No, but I'm just saying when the ice age eventually hit.
I'd have to. That's the thing. I'd have to double check like how far the ice age extended.
Right.
Because again, like getting into the equatorial zone, I'd have to look at the exact timeline of human evolution versus the ice age, because I'm willing to bet that we were primarily consuming meat long before the ice age hit. Although to address 25-year-old grandpa incel, no, that Beyond Meat stuff has literally millions of times as much estrogen as comparing meat. I don't want to grow tits that way. Thank you very much.
I was just about to mention that. You have no idea what's in that stuff. But there's a bunch of soy.
Yeah, a lot of, but I think estrogen is the main thing. Like you will, if you solely switch to that, you're gonna grow tits.
Why do you think Big Pharma or the health companies or whatever, they're pushing so hard for everybody to switch to plant? It'll make you weaker. And like what you explained before, Gray, because we looked it up. Once your hormones change, how you think change as well.
Absolutely, it does. And there's been a lot of people who've been on hormone therapy for transitioning that have described in depth how their thought process changed when they were on these various therapies.
All right, let's start adding people in. Island Hermit and Pragmatic Man, what's up?
Yo, what up? I actually just walked in from the gym, did an upper body workout. Figured I'd join. You guys are talking about my favorite topic, so.
Okay, and before we begin, once again, chat, if you have any questions or you want to say anything, and if you support your boy, Sir Yeetus, you can just go ahead and click that super chat. All donations are appreciated, and I want you guys to engage. I'm going to catch as many questions and statements as possible, but if you want me to notice, if you want, go ahead and hit that super chat. So, Island Hermit, when it comes to working out, when it comes to having optimal health, what do you think is the number one thing to do, number one priority?
Well, your diet and getting on a good workout program. Most people, their workout program is dog shit. I'll ask them what they're doing, and they'll be like, oh, I'm on a bro split. And I'll be like, are you tracking your calories? They're not tracking their calories. Like, if you're a new lifter, you should really get on a full body 3-day a week program, or like a upper lower or push pull legs. As a new lifter, you should not try to make your own workout program unless you're like advanced.
So and then I already know the answer, but what's more important, gym or diet?
Well, diet, and when I say that, it means like it really is all calories in versus calories out. Like, yes, you should eat 80% of your calories should be good, healthy foods that like grow from the ground or come from the trees, or like were once a living thing. But if you want to add in a little bit of bullshit food, it won't kill you. Like, as long as you're like, fitness is really all manipulating your calories. Like, for me, what I do if it fits your macro. So I kind of do like a bastardized version of it. I track my calories. I make sure I hit about 180 to 200 grams of protein every day. and then I kind of just like fill in the rest of the calories with like whatever I kind of feel like eating.
That's why I said earlier in the stream. That's pretty much the most simplest way you can put it. Even though there's a science to this, okay? People go to school and actually study this. You need to understand on the most basic level, calories in, calories out.
Yep. And like another thing I noticed, people try to overcomplicate fitness so much. They think every little calorie has got to be clean. Like, sure, if you want to do it that way, you'll probably be healthier all around. But like at the end of the day, we're all human. So say you're cutting on 2,000 calories, not all those calories have to be clean. Like the laws of thermodynamics, like, yeah, will it be healthier if all those calories are clean? Yeah, but if you want to like sneak in some fucking bullshit foods to make the diet a little bit more enjoyable, yeah, you can get away with that.
Yep, I highly suggest that you don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna cut out all sugar. I'm gonna cut out all this. I'm gonna cut out." Bad move, especially if you're a beginner, because you're gonna rebound 9 times out of 10 times, and you're gonna be gorging the next time you touch, sugar and stuff, and then you're back to square one or even worse.
Well, that's what a lot of new people do. Say they're extremely overweight and they don't know any better. They'll go on these crazy crash diets they can't stick to. And then, like within a couple weeks, they feel like death because the caloric deficit is so low. And then they just wake up in the middle of the night and they start binge eating and totally fuck their diet up. That's why I think you should try to diet on as most calories as you can, because if you diet on as most calories as you can, you'll probably still gain muscle, if not maintain muscle, and it's just going to be more enjoyable altogether.
Yep. And when it comes to doing these crash course diets, which I highly am against, unless when it comes to this extreme, eating clean 99% of the time, or what's it called? Doing this crash course, like, oh, you could lose 10 pounds in 5 days. That's reserved for the professional athletes, okay? Because it's required in their job to make sure that they are meeting the weight standard, or they have to be in optimal shape.
Well, yeah, and a lot of these professional athletes are on some shit too, though.
Right, but for the most part, these professional athletes, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, MMA, boxing, etc., they're the ones that are more prone to do these crash course diets and eating clean because A, that's their job. B, they literally have to be prepared months or weeks in advance. You're a normal person, okay? You don't need that crash course shit.
Yeah. I'd actually like to just answer a bit on that evolutionary timeline versus ice age thing.
After a couple more questions, we'll get into that.
All right, cool.
So Island Hermit and everybody else in the panel, how important is sleep?
Sleep is very important. Honestly, it's one thing I really need to catch up on because I fucking sleep worth shit, dude. But yeah, I'd say if you could get in at least 6 hours of sleep, that's pretty legit.
You need it.
I'd say more like 6.5, 7.
Yeah, obviously more the better, but like 6 minimum.
Yeah, I can say that.
Like, especially if you do something that really breaks down your muscles, you need a lot of sleep to repair them. Otherwise, you'll just break down your body day after day after day, and you won't actually build up or get stronger. In fact, you'll just get weaker because your body can't repair the damage you've done to it.
Yeah, one thing that I recently just bought that's helping me with sleep is I just got some CBD in the mail this week, and it's been helping awesome. Like all the little aches and pains are going away. My sleep is better. My anxiety feels like a lot better. So CBD would be one thing I would recommend to a lot of people.
Actually,
what's up?
Sorry, question, Hermit. With regards to CBD, how do you find that you are able to dream with CBD?
I don't know. I haven't really paid attention, to be honest. Like, I've taken it on and off throughout my life, and that's one thing I never really paid attention to. But
I'd
yeah,
recommend paying attention to it because and this has been my experience too, back when I used to smoke. It does keep you from entering the deepest form of sleep, which allows you to dream. I'd be
no,
curious whether
actually,
that.
I just watched a video the other day. I could be wrong, and this video could be bullshit. So take it with a grain of salt. But I watched a video the other day because like I've been really having a hard time sleeping, and I was like, I didn't want to get on sleeping pills, and I was like looking into the benefits of like CBD for sleeping, and a lot of these sleeping pills do what you just said, but I guess CBD doesn't do that. But maybe if you mix in THC with weed, it might do it. I don't know about that.
That's the thing. It might be that it's more the active ingredients in weed, because I know and have experienced marijuana cutting it out. I'd be curious whether CBD affects it as well. So
Yeah, I don't think the CBD does because I think the main thing that causes that is the THC, and there's no THC if you just get a CBD product. So
good to know.
Okay,
Thank
how
you.
do we get to this point?
The importance of sleep and
yeah, sleep.
and
Okay.
whether or not CBD will affect your ability to go into the deepest kinds of sleep, and whether that would make it less in quality as a sleep aid. But apparently not. Apparently you're probably fine with it.
Understandable, but I want the chat to understand this when it comes to sleep, right? Why do you think fasting works when it comes to recovering your body? When you go to sleep, you're literally on an 8-hour constant fast, and your body is able to focus its energy on solely repairing, right? Because you're not doing anything else.
Yep. I noticed the days I do intermittent fasting, I have more energy in the morning. And it makes sense because as like primitive cavemen, you didn't fucking have the privilege to eat as soon as you woke up. You basically ate the moment you woke up and either foraged or killed something.
Yeah. And you literally, well, in a sense of food wasn't as available as it is today. So right after you ate, that's why I believe the meat thing is important. Every time they kill some game, you know, especially if it's big ones, right? They literally eat as much as they possibly can before it goes like rotten.
Yep.
Then they wait until they're able to catch their next food, which is usually days at a time.
Now, I would say intermittent fasting is a great tool to get lean. And there's nothing magic about it. Like, if you want to lose body fat, you still have to be in a caloric deficit. Now, for me, I use it because I like to eat meals late at night. And it allows me to have like a big meal late at night and, feel good for the rest of the night. Because if I don't do intermittent fasting, it'll be like 10 o'clock and I'll want to eat something. So this allows me to do that.
So
I also do it, but I thought like the benefit of actually going into it when you start like producing kilostones, I think there is about like 12 hours after you eat, like
you
after your
mean
last meal.
you mean get into ketosis?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you
honestly,
need
it's
to
just
have like
Now, from what I've heard, one simple way to do kind of intermittent fasting is a 9 to 9 diet. Don't eat anything before 9 a.m. Don't eat anything after 9 p.m. Don't know how effective that would be, but it is supposed to help you metabolize your food better. So it's good.
there
It's
are
supposedly good for weight
different
loss.
ways to do intermittent fasting. It all depends. I think the classic one, you start eating at 2 p.m. and I think your window ends at like 8. But it really all depends. Like, as long as you like skip breakfast in the morning and you go on a few hours, you'll be good enough. Like, I kind of do a bastardized version of it. Like, I won't eat anything until like noon or 1, and that's when I break my fast. And then my last meal of the day will be at like 10 or 11. But yeah, like at the end of the day, it's just a tool to help you stay in a caloric deficit and reach your goal.
And listen up, chat. You'll get to the point where if you practice intermittent fasting long enough, like me, I usually have one meal a day, or I don't eat for literally 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Like literally, because
Wow.
your body, whether I don't know, you eat regular food or you do the keto diet, your body's able to survive for a couple of days or a few days just off of your um, body fat alone. It's natural because that's
Mm,
literally what we've been doing. Well, since not until recently, but 200,000 years ago or whatever, when food was way less available and abundant, they had no choice but to rely on their body fat or go out there and try to nibble on some grains and fruits and stuff.
well, this is where that may be at a disadvantage, especially if you're taking incredibly long periods. Your body may be confused, thinking that you're in a state of constant
Yeah, and
starvation.
it could eat muscle. I wouldn't recommend that. Like if
That's
you
why
could
I
get
say don't do it
It
right
actually
away.
would eat less muscle being
Wait.
fasting
But
than
that's
it
why I
would
say
be
don't
in a
do it right
caloric
away.
deficit.
No,
You're
not even right away. Like this, is the thing. If you're going that long with
my muscles are just fine.
no, it's not about muscles. It's about your fat levels. Because if your body thinks it's in a starvation state,
It
it
starts storing fat. I understand that, but once
Actually, there's that study that said stuff like that was because they were starvation state, like they called it, was only due to like very low calorie deficiency. As for the state of fasting is different because you don't eat anything.
but
If
like I
you eat
said
very low,
before, I don't do the not eat for 2 to 3 days all the time. Like I said, I go from just eating one meal a day, or I was like, well, shit, I'm not hungry. Like I would just keep going until I become hungry. And once again, it's all about what you put inside your body.
It's funny that you say that because Elliot Hulse was doing the same thing, but he was like not eating for weeks, I'm pretty sure, which is like crazy. And I wouldn't recommend that to people.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say Elliot Hulse was doing that.
That's pretty much what I did, Banana. I will if I'm just not hungry, I do the dry fasting. You're literally the only thing that happens to you is you have that thirsty sensation. You're thirsty, but in the end, your body is able to handle it. But I'm not saying do it all the time, right? I would much rather you guys do the intermittent fasting or one meal a day. That's most optimal. But if you've
Now,
been doing the fasting for a long time, go ahead and do the don't eat for 2 or 3 days once in a while.
now
it's
what
actually
would
been
you?
shown
My bad, dude. Go
that
on.
it's actually been shown that fasting is for longer periods of time is actually extremely well for longevity because it
Yeah, yeah.
repairs your DNA in your stomach and everything.
Your cells pretty much.
Yeah,
So, what would you guys say the most important meal of the day is? I want to see if you guys get this right.
I'm going to say lunch.
In my opinion, breakfast to lunch.
I would say your post-workout meal.
Which, if you do work out in the morning, you know,
Yeah, so technically it could be breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But yeah, a lot of people, like if you're a gym bro, it's like pretty common sense. But a lot of people I noticed don't eat after your workout, and you definitely want to get in like a good amount of protein and carbs after your workout. The carbs to replenish the glycogen and the protein for muscles.
carbs is one thing, yes, but for me, I don't. If I do eat carbs, it'll be a low intake. I do the high protein and fats.
Yeah, you're doing mainly keto, which is you get 75% of your calories from fats, and then you get the rest of it from proteins, pretty much.
Don't get me wrong, I get shit for it often, but I show them my blood results, my test results. Look, I am at optimal health. You always
Yeah, and
gotta
it's like,
go get checked up at the doctor to actually truly see what's going on with your body. What'd you say, Island?
and here's the thing, these diets do work. Like, yeah, you can get in shape with keto, you can get in shape with paleo, you can get in shape with vegan. You just got to know how to structure these diets where they work for you.
Yeah, I completely agree because just because the keto diet, right, works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and like, I see the vegan crying in the chat, "Oh, you guys are wrong." Well, it's like, I'll give you a little credit. If you are vegan, your heart will probably be a little bit healthier. I think that's why C.T. Fletcher had no choice but to become vegan. But like, every diet's got like, there are benefits from keto, there are benefits from vegan, there are benefits from paleo.
But there's also drawbacks. And when it
Well-
comes to veganism, I see in most people, right? I don't want to hear that the exception to the rule of, oh, I know bodybuilders that are vegans. All right, fine. But majority of people will get significantly weaker off of
Yeah, well,
the vegan
if
diet.
you know how to structure a vegan diet to get jacked, you can absolutely do it. The only problem I have with vegans is they act like it's a fucking cult, and it's like they act like you're going to hell because you ate a chicken nugget or whatever. It's like, bro, it's not that serious.
Exactly.
Oh, I
Now,
hate.
one more thing is your microbiome, which is going to be even more unique to you than your DNA, because two people, if they switch to the exact same diet, but one person has been eating somewhat similar food and has a microbiome adapted to eat that sort of stuff, and the other doesn't, then they're not going to get the same amount out of it because they're not able to break it down in the same ways.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. I believe gut health is also crucial. That's why I don't really take it as much, but before I did take a lot of probiotics, just for gut health, making sure you got that good bacteria in you.
And here's the thing, humans are omnivores too. So like you hear the vegans like, oh no, we're meant to eat plants. No, we're omnivores. We've been fucking eating animals since we could fucking walk upright. So
We can go either way. What's wrong? Like both of us are right in a sense. Undufo. Just putting out there, like we can both be right because, like what Other Herman said, we're omnivores.
Yeah, well, we'll save the vegan versus non-vegan argument for a
no,
whole
oh,
other
that
stream.
makes you an evil bigot unless you're
Yeah.
a bigot.
Now,
No, I'm
we do have about
Oh, I
15
want
minutes
to
for a
say
chronic
that.
stream.
What'd you say,
so
Gray?
We got 15 minutes before a chronic starts, so
Oh, I'm gonna keep going until 6:30. If you guys want to head over there, be my guest. But I'm actually no 6:40. I'm gonna go up to 2 hours.
all right, cool.
Yeah, because I feel there's a few more topics to talk about. So when it comes to hitting the gym, right? There's different people that have different goals, whether it's losing fat, gaining muscle, maintaining muscle, tone up, whatever it is. Either Hermit. That's why you say there is no one right way. There's multiple ways that you can do to get to your goal. And that does apply to.
Well, yeah, when it
workout
comes to
plans.
like getting in shape or like getting jacked or whatever, like there are many different paths. Like you can get, you can do calisthenics, you can do powerlifting, you can do bodybuilding. There are like different methods of training.
Either Hermit
and a
cuts
lo-
up
What's up?
fruitarians.
What's
What's a fruitarian?
Hey, this is the guy in TFM's chat that was accusing me of being on steroids.
Huh. But no seriousness, what's a fruitarian?
I think
Well,
it just means
it's-
like you eat fruit and vegetables.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that my canine teeth disagree with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely disagree with that. What? I wouldn't be having these pointy teeth here and here and here if you were just. What's up?
What I hate about vegans is that like they crave meat. Like if we weren't like literally they crave meat. They make imitations of meat. It's just because of their fucking like moral fucking code of
The grandstanding.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's and that's totally bullshit as it is because if you went down into it logically, it makes literally like I'll save it for another time.
Fruits,
I'd like to be part of
vegetables, bugs,
the vegan
We
debate thing.
we eat those, sure, but we also eat meat.
Do you think a lot of vegans look at themselves in the mirror and they're like, oh, why does bacon have to be so good?
Oh no, I remember this one
They did.
Australian vegan.
I have no hate towards vegans that actually are sensible in their in their beliefs.
No,
All right.
Well, yeah, if you don't look at it like a cult and you're just like a normal dude that happens to be vegans, cool, I got no beef with you. But when you're like one of these crazy radical vegans, like vegan gains, yeah, you can fuck off.
No beef. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like,
Well,
I'm honestly wouldn't be surprised if there's a causation effect between a vegan diet and some kind of mental issues. Because I remember this one Australian vegan straight up called the cops on her neighbors because they were holding a backyard barbecue and the smell was driving her insane.
That's fucking
can I stop
retarded.
you guys again? I gotta. I'm sorry. I just gotta answer this. Not really. We don't crave meat. Most vegans don't consume those corporative stuff. See, you're confusing capitalism with biology. The fact that humans are very addicted, not addicted, but they crave fat in itself says enough.
Okay, and since we're apparently not going to get off this straight up, how the fuck are you going to get all the nutrients that you need to survive without meat, without big pharma and this corporate industry?
Well, it's like a lot of vegans have to
Instead
take vitamin B12 just to supplement their diet.
Right. Do you know how many pills you need to replace the nutrients?
When shit
So-
hits the fan and all these fucking infrastructure dies, the vegans will die or they'll have to eat meat.
They
They
will
won't
be-
have the luxury to be vegan straight
Oh,
up.
They'll be
So don't
chasing
fucking
those.
talk like vegan is anti-corporatist, anti-capitalist, anti-consumerist. No, you guys are more fucking consumerist than people that eat meat. Stop
Like
deluding
as soon as
yourself.
the lights go off, this dude is going to be eating dead squirrels because
You'll
you
be
cannot,
chasing around
unless
rabbits
you
and shit.
live unless you have like a food forest, you're not going to be able to pull just a vegan diet.
Because I see this in itself as
they'll
a
probably
first.
just be killing the vegans.
But shit, I don't give a fuck about killing or not. What I'm saying is,
Well,
we don't see eye to eye on this situation only because I see this argument as a first world problem.
Like-
I don't know how you can compare and contrast capitalism with biology.
They're just trying to find a different moral high ground rather than animal cruelty.
You guys are evil bigots because you like chicken nuggets.
Like instead of being like, oh, you're evil because you don't care about the animals, it's like, no, now you're evil capitalists.
I don't give a fuck about the animals. Bacon is delicious.
I'll let you know
Well-
right now, El Nufo, we can definitely talk about this in the future. Like what we were saying a bit ago, with shit hits the fan, your grandstanding morality on, don't hurt the animals will go out the window.
No, he doesn't care about the animals. He made it very clear.
You, whether you like it or not, do not want to starve to death. Your body will start acting for you. Your sense of morality, no. Your instincts are a lot more powerful than you think it is.
I was watching one of those survival shows and it was a guy and a girl. I think it was like Naked and Afraid. I don't know. It was a guy and a girl, and the girl was a vegan and the guy was a fucking, he ate normal, and the girl was on the verge of fucking starving, and I think she had to eat an animal, and she started crying, and the fucking dude was just like fucking living life, and it's like, yeah, you would not be able to fucking sustain that.
Just weakness. But let me read this. Not really. I just don't want to eat pus, tumors, antibiotics, estrogens, chemicals, and see. Here's what I'm saying. When shit hit, once again, this is the first world problem. When shit hits the fan, right, and all the big pharma and mass production of animals go out the window, right? Because I'm pretty sure plenty of animals will die as well because they can't be taken care of. The remaining animals, you will not hesitate to hunt down. Once again, your instincts will take over when shit hits the fan. Come on, bro.
All right, guys, can we get a 1 in the chat if bacon is delicious? 1 in the chat if bacon is delicious.
Now, and that's the other thing. If he's going to rage against like the corporate farming thing, like, where do you think all this stuff that comes from your nutritional supplements comes from? It is not any less big pharma than the stuff that you're getting from these factory farms. You're still eating the chemicals and shit.
Seeing a
just-
lot
When
of
it comes
ones in the
to-
chat.
like certain vegan arguments, when it comes to what I was saying was when it comes to certain vegans arguments, I do agree with them for different reasons. Like these people who go about like saying killing animals humanely, they say there's no difference between really killing them in like a cruel way versus killing them in a what people think is a humane way. You're
Yeah,
still killing them. That's the point of it.
that's the only
And
thing
the
that I
thing
agree with.
is, it just is
Yeah,
people
like
making
I'll
themselves
agree.
feel better.
Factory farming is fucked up, and I would prefer people to go out and hunt and kill their own food. But we have billions of people on this planet, so it's just not logical,
It's
really.
not.
That wasn't the argument I was making.
But I do
My
see
argument,
what you're saying is that the only thing that I do agree what vegans point out is they shouldn't be. And I seen a video actually today of somebody. You gotta be eventually fucked up in the head when you're working at these uh big massive slaughterhouses because you're seeing like I've seen them cruelly take down animals, holding them down, kicking them around, kick a beheaded lamb's head like across the room, laughing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
dude, these
think
well,
that's
these
fucked up.
people are fucked up. I worked with a guy who used to work at a slaughterhouse, and he like had the gun where you like puncture their skulls or whatever. And there was definitely some shit off about this dude. Like he gave me low key serial killer vibes. So I do
Yeah,
agree with you on
I
that.
agree. I agree with that.
well,
Okay, cool. We need
what
to
I
change
was
that.
trying to say though was that it doesn't matter if you kill them humanely or cruel, you're still killing them, or whether or not they had a good life, like free range, or whether or not they basically were in a cage. You're still gonna be killing them. It's basically like saying it'd be better off killing like a rich person than a poor person because a rich person had a better
That's the
life.
thing. Like, I
What I'm
straight
saying
up
is,
can't.
I was just saying that I don't like the argument for the killing something like humanely is just these same people trying to spare their feelings because they feel bad about killing animals.
Well,
What I'm
in
saying is
this,
just accept it and stop being like pussy with your emotions.
I see what you're saying, dude. But the practice of killing animals humanely it has been around for thousands of years. All
But,
right.
like,
So I know there's one thing where you're just desperate of, hunting down food and you just don't give a shit. You just stab, fuck it. I'm trying to eat. And another scenario where you're raising these animals, they're living good, living life, eating grass, and you will much rather have them be heated in the most painless way, such as getting shot in the head or cutting the jugular so they bleed out
And
quickly.
and what I'm saying is you're just trying to make yourself feel better about killing them.
Well,
Well,
okay, no.
no,
Here's the
because
thing. Like,
well,
okay,
go ahead, Gray.
okay, like,
Unless you're talking about nutritional values, then it's just totally about the argument about whether or not to kill them humanely. It's just
I'm,
your emotions about
no, that's
making
the
you
thing.
feel
I'm
better.
talking about the quality of the meat. I am not talking about a moral standpoint at all. You get better meat by killing them quickly, painlessly, and by surprise.
Well, that
yeah.
I was talking about the people who are like, when it comes down to it, they're in their feelings about just it's literally the I understand when it comes to nutritional value, it might be practical to do. But I'm saying, other than that, it's just people trying to make themselves feel better. To me, that's like not no better than being like a vegan.
What are you gonna do if you
Wait,
wake up tomorrow,
wait,
Yeetus,
wait.
and Vegan Gains made a video about you? I'd laugh so hard,
I
dude.
don't give a shit about that
Oh,
guy.
I would love that. I would love that.
But in all seriousness,
I'd smile
I'm gonna
so
get
much.
this point across. Okay, this practice has been around for thousands of years. Especially it depends on the culture and the religion as well. Okay, when it comes to not desperately hunting for food because you're starving, fine, fuck it, do what you gotta do. But even when you do cut down an animal, you still give it a sign of respect for even giving you the resources or having his life ended in exchange of keeping you alive. That practice has been around for a long time.
That's the thing. And if we're gonna get into the mental
I'm-
aspect, like first
I would-
off, you go
What's
first.
up?
Guys, my phone is dying. This
Oh,
charger
okay.
sucks.
It's all good, man. You can head out.
If I can call back, I'll call back. I'm gonna switch chargers.
All right, man. Too easy.
Hey.
Peace out, Pootie T.
Peace.
So when
I
it
see.
comes, go ahead.
All right, so killing quickly and painlessly. Well, for one thing, it's safer. Like, you do not want to be like trying to have your meal while the thing is still thrashing around. Most animals can do a shit ton of damage to your body. That's why most hunting practices, yeah, we do want to kill them quickly. It's more efficient. Like, even when we're hunting something out in the wild, we still want to kill it with a quick, clean blow. So A, we don't waste the time and energy having to track the bloody thing through God knows how much forest and underbrush. And B, it's safer because we don't have to deal with the injuries. Now, and then keep in mind, we also live in a modern society where we're not supposed to be accustomed to using violence for everyday things. If every single person had to beat their meal to death with a rock every single day, I'm willing to bet that would result in a far more violent and less stable society as a whole.
I think it would be a better. We wouldn't have as much like complete like pussies who are totally removed from how to survive.
I see what you're saying when you're talking about the vegans and stuff, or people that has first world problems. Yes, but even when we were living back in the, you know, fucking tribal houses, the huts and stuff, and the freaking stone houses and all that crazy shit, where it was a lot less accessible to meat, right? Yet you had to go out there and hunt the food down. The morality was still there per se, but I say that it depends on the situation, right? If you're desperate for food, fuck it, do what you gotta do. But if you have a cow like ready to go, or a lamb ready to go, uh, it's like, all right, hey man, just slit the throat, or try to find a kill spot to end it quickly. And for various reasons, like what Gray said, right? There's various reasons why we go for the kill very quickly. But for at the end of the day, the practice, where this cultural religion is, they do, prey upon the animal, like, hey, thank you very much for, letting me use your vital organs and meat and stuff to keep me alive. That culture has been around forever.
Well, beyond that, I'm also saying that the psychological aspect cannot be ignored in larger society. Like, for example, when we have to kill humans, we don't just pick some rando and be like, okay, yeah, everyone's got to take their turn killing a criminal. No, there is one person whose sole job it is to kill people. They are meant to take on the burden of that duty. And again, even when it comes to killing animals, we have various specialists dedicated to that task so that it doesn't have to become the burden of larger society. And if you look at societies where they do practice that, where it is more evenly distributed, those people are usually constantly at war and never get out of the Stone Age.
You're just when it comes to the whole idea of like you said, where the specialization, we kind of just specialize because it's more efficient, not necessarily because of like removing ourselves from that or the general public. It's more of like we industrialized and we can do it much more efficiently, and it would be cheaper if like factories do it and stuff like that instead of individuals.
I do agree with what you're saying, Francesco. Killing humans is different than animals per se, but it doesn't really take away the fact that eventually, if somebody has the sole purpose to kill, they're not going to be well in the head. Not too many people that constantly have to go to war, and it's either you or me type situation, or being in a slaughterhouse, constantly, ending the animals over and over and over again. You're not going to be right in the head eventually. I'm not saying it's 100% true, but for a lot of people in that line of duty, in those type of jobs, they're not. It's not going to end well. So
yeah. And then if it goes even beyond, like, we have more jobs in our society that involve killing animals callously beyond just for food. Pet shops, like, the amount of like pets that you have to throw out and put down on a regular basis, like laboratory animals, oh god, you are going to go through dumpsters dumpsters of lab animals.
Yep, and I see the people that are not really right in the head. They're using cope as, making a fun game or trying to say it's not a big deal when they're constantly slitting throats. Like hell, that one video I saw of that dude is like, literally kicking a beheaded lamb's head across the room.
Oh,
That's
and
not
then there's
right.
also like our trauma personnel. They are not right in the head either. Having to deal with this stuff all day, every day is not good for the mental health of people. If you put that in the hands of larger society, okay, yeah, you might get rid of some of the pussies, but you're going to get a hell of a lot more problems on top of that.
Because that means there's desensitized to all that. That's not a good thing.
You don't.
Well,
modern
that's like the
society-
same argument like the Christian conservatives made back when like they showed violence on television.
Well, are we not desensitized to violence?
Like I think,
Not
are they
like
wrong?
it's maybe on the television, but like people like you do violence. People today are so much more sensitive to it than ever before, I'd say.
Once again, it all depends on how much you were exposed to it. Because places like Chicago, Baltimore, Compton, I'll say Miami as well, and various other high violent areas, they just see it as another Tuesday.
And that's the and just
Well,
because,
that's because
it's out on television
They're
doesn't
actually
mean the
doing
people,
it they're actually doing it in person. The whole idea of it doing on television just desensitized it really on television.
No, but that's the thing. But like then you're going to say, but then you have to ask, okay, well, what is the exposure of violence that these people who are very sensitive to violence have? Like they're not watching freaking slasher flicks every other day and then going out and being complete pussies in the streets.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna add a couple people. The Hermit and Dex.
Yo, I had to switch chargers. That one sucked.
Saga, but Dex, what's that noise in your background?
I have no idea, but let me fix something.
Can you turn down the volume as well?
Is that any better?
Keep turning it down.
Hang on 1 second, I'll mute myself.
Yeah, just let me know when it's fixed, man, because it's definitely pretty loud.
His sensitivity is too high.
See, the violence thing is kind of what you guys talked about the other day, and I think it depends on the person. Like me, I grew up in Detroit. I've been to prison. If you come up to me with some bullshit, you're getting your ass beat. But for your average guy that just like doesn't really do anything, yeah, they're probably gonna bitch up.
But Island Herman, you've seen people yourself as a witness in prison, seen some very violent stuff, right? So eventually you got
Dude, they tried to get me to join a gang my first day on the yard, and they flashed a knife at me. Well, I've seen some beyond fucked up shit in there.
And eventually you got desensitized.
Yeah, that's why, like, the shit don't affect me like it used to.
Well, keep in mind,
what
I'm
was
not
saying
saying
is that it's not necessarily being desensitized to one thing that's similar to another does not necessarily do it to you on that other thing.
Well, there's also the aspect of frequency, because if someone goes hunting, maybe a couple times a year, that's very different from someone who 8 hours a day plus 5+ days a week is straight up executing an animal. Like you cannot compare the two.
For sure.
Well, that would be like what we would do naturally, other than like maybe we do it like not as fast.
No,
and like you were in the military, so you're probably could like if shit popped off, you could probably fuck somebody up and not think twice about it too.
Easy, because once you're in that position, more than enough, and often, you'll be able to perform a lot better under pressure than somebody that never picked up a weapon in his life.
And here's the thing:
and in prison, every waking moment was like that, dude. Especially if you're going to the yard. Like, I remember there was this alley, or well, we called it an alley. It was like a hallway that had no cameras. it was kind of scary walking down that hallway because that was people knew where like there's no cameras, so they would like do some fucked up shit in that hallway. And yeah, I got sucker punched like my first week there, and by the time I turned around to square up with the dude, he was already getting tackled by like 2 or 3 COs. But yeah,
And
so
even through media, you can still be desensitized to violence. Not saying everybody, but a lot of people can be desensitized through the media.
Well, there's a couple aspects to it. Like, for one thing, the scale of what we're killing. Like, there's a difference between someone who shucks a million oysters every day, because, you know, well, maybe not a million, but a couple hundred oysters a day. Like, that's fairly, that can be fairly mundane, and you're not going to be desensitized to it. Meanwhile, we go back to the caveman era. We weren't killing something like an elephant or a cow, which could feed a large number of the tribe. Like, we didn't have to kill a cow every single day by hand in order to feed whatever local village. We only
shit, you're probably even killing a lot of people back then too, because think about it, a rival tribe comes to approach on you, you would kill them.
But it wasn't an everyday thing. You weren't committing murder 8 hours a day every single day.
No, but it was more than what people do today, though.
Okay,
Yeah, but
yes, it's more than
You
people.
could do it mattering on what size your game is.
But there's very different from, okay, a game the size of a bird, like, that's not the same as something the size of a cow.
Lion to MGTOW, where violence is necessary in some cases. Of course, violence is definitely necessary in some cases, and it comes natural to us when that situation comes to it. But like what Grady was saying, if it's just done over and over and over and over and over and over,
like, violence is necessary, but it shouldn't become mundane.
Exactly.
And that's where we see a lot of the problems with the people who experience too much violence, is it becomes mundane and they're desensitized to it. Heck, I've even known one guy who, if he doesn't witness violence on a regular basis, he straight up has nightmares.
So something ain't right. It's not normal to him.
That's definitely messed up.
And literally, there's places around the country, you know, once again, predominantly black, where teenager, hell, maybe even a child sometimes can walk by a dead body. They're like, all right, shrug their shoulders. It's another Tuesday. That's what we're trying to say is, I do agree with Pragmatic Man when it comes to, you know, you shouldn't be too much of a wuss to do what you got to do to kill your game.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, you want to be a warrior in a garden. You don't want to go looking for it. You don't want to be starting it. But if it comes your way, you want to be able to end it.
But you don't want to do it over and over and over and over. Because in my opinion, most people will be fucked up.
Yeah, and we've definitely gone too far in society to isolate people from violence to the point where, yeah, we've got a bunch of these people who don't respect it, don't appreciate it, and can't handle it. So there's definitely, that aspect to it, and I'm not going to disagree with that. But we can't go the exact opposite way and have everybody take up experience as 24/7 butchers just so they get accustomed to blood and violence. That's too far, and we see the problems in society with the few people that do have to bear that burden for the sake of the larger population.
Yep. And once again, that's the only thing that I will agree with when it comes to the vegans, when it comes to the violence and the inhumane things that the people do to the animals. Because once again, you know, you're like, oh man, you know, I'm ending an animal's life. Oh man, that sucks. All the way to, let me kick a freaking decapitated head across the room and laugh about it.
Well,
that's a coping mechanism for them to feel normal.
Right.
Well, when it comes to like the vegan argument, I'm pretty sure what their argument for like it is like you right? You'd be against like the like industrialized like animal like farming stuff like that. Vegans would go say that that's no different from basically, is basically no different to basically doing like just killing like land raised animals because like you're still killing it, and they are correct in that sense.
Well, yeah, if you
Well, you don't
stab,
listen to crazy people.
yeah, if you stab someone in the, or if you stab an
don't-
animal, well, here's what I'm saying. If you stab an animal in the neck or shoot in the head, yeah, yeah, of course, you know, that's the same thing. Yeah, that's okay, cool. But the volume of how many times you do it, that's the difference.
You're
That's
talking
how.
about the effect on a person. I'm talking about the act.
Well, you know, I understand, but what I'm saying is, the vegans that says what you're saying, oh, it's no different than killing farm, they're fucking stupid. Okay,
Well,
but
they are.
the ones that are
I've heard 'em
They
say that
sensible,
are
before.
sort of right in the sense. Like,
well,
is it would it be
Okay,
like
no,
right?
vegans are big
Technically-
would it be
hypocrites.
morally wrong to kill a rich man, or would it be
See-
more morally wrong to kill like a poor man than a rich man because the poor man lives worse than the rich man?
But
Let me
pragmatic.
ask you
Hold
this:
on, I
how
gotta
many lives?
wait,
do you
wait. I gotta finish this. Hold up. I understand it's technically no different. Of course, if you stab an animal, they're gonna die. Cool. But the volume of doing that said act and the ways that they do it to the animals, that's what the sensible vegans will say. But these stupid vegan cult motherfuckers say, oh, you can't kill animals, they have feelings, blah blah blah. See, that's where I agree with you, pragmatic man.
No, and here's where I'm going to completely disagree, because
Hold
to me
up.
the
Okay. Go for it.
act is irrelevant. The consequences are all that matter. So you want to ask, killing a rich man versus killing a poor man? I don't give a shit about who had the better life. I care about which death is going to cause more pain and suffering for more people.
Okay, I get that point. I was just saying, right? The whole moral aspect that the people bring up, right, is just to save their feelings. If you, to me, like either way, I would not really like I don't give a shit how an animal dies as long as you use it, really.
Oh, you guys are evil bigots that eat chicken
That's
nuggets. No,
pretty
I'm
much
just
what I've been saying this whole time, though.
Like
You
to
know?
me, it's like killing an animal is actually like kind of no different from killing a plant.
No, it's not.
Really? You're gonna go that far, man?
Wait. I missed it. What do you say?
Killing a
I
plant
said-
animals like killing a plant.
Killing animals like killing a plant?
Yeah,
No, it's not.
They're so-
You don't.
Okay, in that case, man, you're committing genocide right now on all the bacteria.
yeah, and I'm
I
fine.
definitely agree, Brennan Trueblood. Killing
Plant
animals
lives
is
matter
complete-
activists.
Killing animals is 100% different than killing people. I agree. It's way different. But in the end, all I'm saying is either way somebody dies. Fuck it. Whether it's
For
on
you
the
to
farm,
live, something must
whether
die.
it's on the
For you to
farm,
eat, something must die.
but whether I understand whether it's on the farm, whether it's in a slaughterhouse, dead animals are dead animals. But like what Gray said and what I've been saying, the consequences are freaking dire compared to, all right, hey, this one cow that I'm just gonna, just end this one cow. It'll feed my family for, a few months, a couple months. Cool, too easy. Then the person is doing it every fucking day, and his sanity is going down the drain. If not his sanity, his he's just too desensitized to the point where it's like, oh yeah, let me slit throat, stand still, motherfucker, stand still. Start slamming the animal on the wall, yeet it into the goddamn air, all that crazy shit. That's
I'm
where
gonna
I
be
say,
honest.
what's
I
up?
was kind of
At
like
what?
those people like that's messed up, but it's like when you get Yeetus is right, like killing animals. If it was just a point of like I just had to kill animal, which way would I do it? Would I do it in a way that I tortured the animal before I killed it, or I just killed it like that's it? Most people don't want their food to be fucked around with before it died. Technically,
Well, and heck, even beyond food, like this is where I can't agree with, oh, killing a plant's no different than killing animal. No, there's a different intention behind I wouldn't even say killing one animal is the same as killing another animal. Every single animal and every single purpose behind the killing is different. I wouldn't.
Yep, not all animals are equal.
I wouldn't equate
That's
putting
just like
a nail. No, let me finish. I wouldn't equate putting a nail between a cow's head so that it can be made, can be turned into food, as equivalent to putting a cat in the dryer.
Yeah, it's a see, like that's not necessary because
Like if you're gonna say, "Oh, well, killing's killing," they're the same thing. It's like,
yeah,
no.
it's like, why did you kill it? Was it necessary to kill it? Did it save anyone?
Well, and like killing a bug isn't the same as like killing a dog. You know what I mean?
Like, and like, killing bacteria
Well,
not the same thing as killing a mammal.
right. Okay. When it comes down to it, though, all those arguments about that is basically more like what happens. Like, it's not actually like the moral argument against any of that.
Morality is subjective to a
someone
person.
else's
If
morals.
if someone tells me I feel the same killing a plant as I do killing an animal, I'm assuming that person is fucking dangerous.
Well,
because at that point, do they feel any different?
You feel the same killing a fly than you are killing like cutting grass?
You're not killing grass by cutting it.
Yeah, you don't kill grass by cutting it.
All right, I'm getting lost right now.
I know, me too. Like, how the fuck did we get here?
But I do want to hear what Gray has to say. Gray,
look, if you're gonna equate killing a plant and animals the same, you're half a fucking degree from saying that I feel no different plucking a rose than I do cutting your throat. And to me, you're a fucking danger that needs to be removed from my presence for my own safety.
I'm just saying, like, you can't compare cutting grass to fucking slitting a whole goddamn mammal's throat.
I was talking about the moral argument, not necessarily your emotions in it.
What is morality without emotions?
Morality without emotion?
Like,
there's no morality without emotions.
What is your grounds for morality if there's no emotional involvement?
Well, what I was trying to
argument without having emotions involved.
Let me hear what he has to say. Pragmatic.
Okay. You threw me off a little bit. You continue your point, and then I'll continue.
No, I'm asking. You've made the argument that you've separated morality from emotions. I'm asking, how do you have morality without emotions?
Well, if you usually it's like the desired out. There's the necessarily if you look at the most subjective morality, right? It's basically comes between basically an action, the desire, the results, and the goals within it. And all I was trying to say is basically like for instance, right? Nobody's life actually has any true meaning as it is, or purpose, really. It's all subjective. What I was saying is say if you remove the existentialism versus like nihilism looks at the overall view of it and comes to a different solution, as existentialists do is it on like the personal basis. What I was doing a overall look at it versus not taking it down to the personal thing. Like for instance, like existentialists think that you can, even though nothing you do really matters to like in the grand scheme of things, it can matter to something, like somebody in a sense. Like in the grand scheme of things, like say a plant or it's like bacterial or like mushroom or human, if any of them die, it's not really really the difference other than the results of what could have came from that.
It's always a crime when mushrooms die.
No, it's not.
Shroom lives matter.
No, they don't.
But hey, in all seriousness, what's your response, Gray?
No, quite frankly, I'm just going to kind of let his statement stand as it is and let everyone else process that. I don't really think I can argue against that without having him twist around and counter what I'm trying to say with some more esoteric bullshit.
How about this? You can say what you want. I won't respond.
No, that's the thing.
Well-
You said a whole lot of absolutely nothing, basically arguing that since nothing has value, nothing matters.
No, what I was saying is all I did
Can
was
you
remove
summarize
the
what you're
emotion
saying into
and the
a quick
person.
sentence or less without waffling around?
All right. Okay. Okay. It's a little bit more in depth. I'll think about it. We'll come back for a little bit.
Okay, so that's the only thing that I agree with when it comes to vegans is the cruelty within the slaughterhouse. Fine, but everything else, the feelings and stuff, it's not really a factor when it comes to me trying to hunt for food. I will take in consideration of being if it's possible, giving the animal the quick death. Sure. But the feelings and stuff, saying that all living things are equal and all that vegan cultist shit, that's annoying.
Oh, that's
Yep.
the communist.
But back on fitness, Yeetus, what exercises would you recommend to people to get in shape or get jacked?
So depends on what you're working on. So you talking about gaining muscle or losing body fat?
Like gaining muscle.
Definitely high weight, low rep. In a sense, what I'm saying is 3 sets of 5.
I personally like a lot. I do a lot of 5x5 or like 5x6.
Damn, that's a lot.
Like 5x5 programs are great, dude. There's so many good 5x5 programs out there. And really I do 5x5, but I always try to like one up myself and just do 6. But like, you know, Strong Lifts 5x5 is a great program. But I was more talking about like exercises. Like if you want to build a great physique, you have to focus on getting stronger on compound lifts. So you want to be doing bench, squat, deadlift, overhead press. Those kind of movements are going to give you 80% of your gains. And then, you know, isolations like curls and flies and stuff are kind of like the cherry on top. Oh, yeah. And I would say dips, chin-ups, and pull-ups are also great compound movements. Like you guys should be doing pull-ups or chin-ups every other day. I try to get like at least 100 pull-ups or chin-ups every other day, dude.
Yeah, I remember, at least when I was younger, I can still get back to it, I think. I was able to do around 20 something pull-up. Not pull-ups, the chin-ups. You know, I was very
I
proud
did
about that.
so I work music festivals in the summer. This was before the COOF, and there was a Marine guy there, and they had a pull-up station. I won I won a T-shirt and something else for doing the most pull-ups. So
See, that's how I pretty much got the recruiting offer from the army when I was doing a pull up contest. Just for fun, and they were doing that at my high school. And they're like, "Oh no, this kid's pretty decent. He's pretty fit, you know. Have you ever wanted to join the military?" I'm like, "No." You know,
and then you're like, sign me up.
they're like, "Here, let's
You
talk."
fell for the Simpson trap?
Well, you know how you know recruiters are always aiming for the high schoolers, so they weren't gonna let that go, especially if they offer you the R. Is it the high school has a ROTC? Or was it college, or was it both? I think it was college.
Yeah,
I'm
they
not,
asked me if I ever been in the military after winning, and I was like, no. I almost did join the Marines when I was like 18, 19. I just never ended up doing it.
Good, because you're probably going to be dealing with good old World War III right now.
Well, that was like 10 years ago, so I probably would have been good unless I stayed in for life, and then, yeah, I'd be fucked.
But in all seriousness, though, pull-ups, at least in the beginning, are beyond difficult. But as you know keep going, It's a great
Once
feeling.
once you get to the point where you can do them weighted, oh my god, dude, you feel so good. Like I do weighted pull-ups and chin-ups, especially weighted chin-ups, and like people struggle with doing these exercises. So when they see you add weight to a belt, they just look at you like you're insane, dude. Weighted
My
chin-ups are probably one of my favorite exercises.
my favorite exercises are the bench, deadlifts, dips, and the pull-ups.
Yeah, I hate leg day. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still very important.
No, deadlifts is pretty much mainly back, right? So
Well,
with
it's like legs and back, so
yeah, I can do that. I despise squats. I don't like squats. Like I still
yeah,
got
my
some meaty legs, but I still hate squats.
yeah, basically like I don't really do barbell squats either. I used to do them a lot, but it's so easy to fuck your back up. Like there's a reason why they call deadlifts and squats back snaps. Like if your form is wrong or you're going too heavy, you can snap your back up. Now, pretty much what I do for my legs is I do a lot of body weight squats followed with trap bar deadlift and then some leg curls and stuff.
Okay. Fucking Gray.
Hmm.
So you used to go to the gym, or you don't go to the gym as much?
Used to go, then beer bug happened, and they got closed down around here. But like my daily work is fairly physically intensive. I actually managed to get a lot of workout with lower body and tricep specifically due to a lot of lifting.
Oh, I forgot to mention before we continue with the questions, Gray. Doing lower body workouts will give you the best progress when it comes to elevating your testosterone.
Yep.
Fun fact.
Leg day helps raise your testosterone. That's why you do not skip leg day.
Nope, no. As much as you want to, I'm telling you, I feel you. I know it's not a good feeling.
Not fun. It
yeah,
sucks.
it's horrible. Man, I dread leg day.
Yep.
Like-
Tomorrow I got a big leg day planned and I'm not looking forward to it. And my early years of lifting, I skipped leg day a lot because it's not fun and it fucking sucks. And the next day you can't walk worth shit.
Oh,
And I'm
man.
regretting it now because I have a really big upper body and my legs are now playing catch up. So
See, the biggest thing is that's a big lesson for me because I definitely learned it when I was young. The coach pushed me too hard because they're like, "Oh, those some little ass weights. Put on some more plates." I'm like, okay," and I did the ledges, the leg machine, I forgot what it's called. Fuck, it's pretty much the one that you go forward. The leg extensions, I think it is.
yeah, where you're like sitting and you like kick your legs up.
Yeah, I did the calf raisers. I did everything that one day. The next day, I was like, oh no. I was able to skip school for a couple of days.
Oh, dude, I hit
couldn't
legs so hard where I wanted to die the next day at work. I was like, had to bend over and pick something up, and I felt like an 80-year-old grandpa. I'm like, this fucking is horrible. But
that's why I
important,
say
so.
that's why I say that was a big lesson for me in life or in fitness. Post workout meals are important.
Yep. Honestly, I already hit the gym. I'm probably going to hit the gym again tonight and do a calisthenic workout. Dude, I am such a fucking gym rat. I think about going to the gym like all day, every day. I got a problem.
I believe it's a lot better than going to nightclubs and shit. Nightclubs and bars and all that stuff because you are solely invested in your time. I got nothing but respect for gym rats, but I get very annoyed with people that makes the gym their personality.
Yeah, I'm guilty. I did that before, but yeah, you got to have a life and a personality outside of the gym for sure.
See, that's what I'm talking about, right? You got to balance everything out. But Gray, what was your favorite workouts?
Honestly, it's probably still the squats.
You sick, this sadistic bastard. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, like honestly, I'd say like the ones that I would make the most progress on and feel the most accomplished with, yeah, still the squats, and I keep doing them like more or less to this day.
So, Gray, did you do any of those exercises I was talking to you about?
Yeah, I've managed to find a bunch of stuff that works out for the lot of them. The dips were the hardest one to find something like outside the gym to work with, but I managed to find an old chair that's suitable.
Yeah, you should buy a dip bar. It's like a station where it's got the pull-up bar and then the dip bar, and you could probably get one of those for like $200-$300, and it would be a great investment.
Yeah, I'm gonna check around tomorrow because everything's closed today for Good Friday.
Hey, Alan
Yeah,
Herman, you see that?
What's up? Yep,
I am
pretty
the
much.
lithosphere.
Yep.
Oh man, that'd be great.
But yeah, I would do, Gray, once you get that, I would do either pull-ups or chin-ups, and then I would do dips and then squats, and I would do 5 sets of whatever you can do, and then over time just add sets and reps.
Yeah, actually, probably want to look into like I'm not at the point where I could use it for dips or chin ups yet, but probably one of those weighted belts or weighted vest of some kind.
I
But-
have a belt in my gym bag that I use for weighted dips and chin-ups.
But a few streams ago, I did talk about gyms turned to a nightclub. I repeat, if you're a new viewer, okay, my goal is still when I'm able to afford it. Usually, it's probably near retirement or post retirement. I'm opening up a male only gym, and it's gonna be my gym, so they can't do shit about it. Cause your focus is to lift and lift only, and like what I forgot his name again. The old coach from Rocky.
Mickey.
Yeah, Mickey. I take that to heart every day, especially when you're trying to focus on your training. Women weakens legs.
Yeah.
Also, I think Dax might still be waiting in the back trying to get in. Says he's got his mic fixed.
Yeah, I'll put him in a bit. I will. But
Well, yeah, it can be super annoying going to the gym. Like there are times where I do go later during the week just because if I go earlier, it's going to be really hard to get in a good workout because it'll be packed. And it's so fucking annoying when you just want to get in there, get in a good workout and leave. And then you have the gym packed. There's fucking thoughts taking pictures on fucking whatever you're trying to use. And yeah, it definitely gets annoying. So if you
Yep.
can build your own gym, it might be better in the long run.
Yep, and I definitely it's shit. It's still just maybe a 24-hour gym as well, and you'll be able to go in on your own because it's going to be exclusive. Not anybody will be going to my gym.
My gym
Okay.
is a 24-hour gym.
Yeah, and if you're an exclusive member, I trust you won't be eating plates left and right. So definitely that is a big goal of mine in the future because I believe all this craziness that's happening in this gynocentric society, countless men have become lost and astray of what their biological imperative is. Okay, you're supposed to get big, get jacked, focus on your purpose and goals, and then if you see a good honey that walks by, do what you gotta do. But after that, keep it moving.
Yeah, and you guys should really try to at least be able to bench 225. Like 225 should be the minimum.
I should make that a rule. If you
No,
can't
for real.
bench
Like
two
if
plates,
you don't bench 225, I have a hard time taking you seriously.
but don't worry,
Hmm.
I'll help out those people to get to that point.
Yeah, I'll help them. But if like, you know, the guy, they come up to you and they think they're like tough shit. And it's like, bro, you can't even put up 225. How the fuck am I supposed to take you seriously?
I know MMA, bro. Like,
Yeah, I know MMA.
there's a
Bro, you bench
reason-
145. I don't give a
There's-
fuck.
There's a big reason why there's weight classes. Okay, so
Yeah.
don't get
Yep.
that.
Like honestly, I'm still working on her, but it's hard enough to get the 3K calories a day as it is.
See,
Yeah, if you get them calories and you get in them workouts, man, you'll get up there.
You're the one that said that you have a high metabolism last time, right?
Yeah, I got a high metabolism to begin with, and I've been running at like 60% the calories I need for the past 2 years. So
Yeah, I wear priest clothes. Yeah. I'm gonna have that. What's it called? The bodybuilder Jesus. I'm gonna have a huge picture on the wall. You know, and do you even lift, bro? Like we're gonna be
And
doing
he's gonna hire
Predator,
CT Fletcher just to yell at you when you lift.
and I don't care how old Fletcher will literally be the new Mickey. Okay, I don't care. I don't care how old he is. He is motivation.
Bro, I'll come to your gym just so he can yell at me while I'm lifting and then die under the bar.
just put on more plates if I die. just
Yeah, if CT Fletcher tells you to put on more plates, you're putting on more plates. I don't give a fuck. You might die, but you're putting on more plates.
But the testosterone that's flowing through your body when he says lift, I'm like, yeah, like just nothing but testosterone flowing.
You're gonna have the ambulance coming to your gym all the time, just carrying bodies away.
I can explain. Like, be quiet, sir.
They're like, I don't get it. Why do I have to sign this form when I come in? And then basically just so you don't get sued.
And I personally don't care what you do outside of the gym, but once you're in the gym, you better be lifting or doing some type of cardio. I don't care.
And also, I better not catch you guys on the fucking Smith machine.
That freaking Yeetus gym's just gonna have this big banner on the back: "Get swole or die trying."
Yep.
And I'm serious.
How do you feel about the Smith machine, Yeetus? I fucking hate that machine.
Is that the one that assists people in?
Yeah, it's like you can do it. You can do like squats or bench, and it's got a fucking. It's like training wheels of lifting, pretty much.
Oh yeah, I know you. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Like we used to bully people that use that.
Yeah,
back in the day.
With squats and bench. That's
yeah.
I saw that in my high school years ago. I think it's disgusting. In a sense of you need to know your true strength, not have a machine to. I understand that exists if you don't have a spotter.
There needs to be the fear of death while you're lifting, and that takes away the fear of death.
That's the only difference that I see why they do it, because if you don't have a spotter, that'll help you assist more. But I'd rather have no spotter and lift one plate than to look like a little girl with, oh, look at me, guys. Look, see?
I'd rather potentially die than look soft on the Smith machine.
Because once again, like, it's not all about lifting as much weight, Sir Yeetus, okay? Maybe they need to work on technique. Maybe shut up. Okay? As men, we are naturally competitive. All right.
And here's the thing: lifting on the Smith machine is like lifting on the moon. If you bench 225 on the Smith machine, it's not the same as 225 on a normal bar.
You're pretty much doing 125.
Yeah.
So, in all seriousness, no, I think it's disgusting. That will never be in my future gym. It will be nothing but iron plates, not that stupid ass rubber plates. Iron. I need that.
You gotta get one just so you can put people in timeout over there. Like if you catch them ego lifting or doing something they're not supposed to do, they get thrown in timeout at the Smith machine, and everybody like judges them and makes fun of them.
We put in the CrossFit weights, those colorful weights.
Yeah.
That'd be so mean.
What do you do? You're on the Smith machine, faggot.
But the big thing is, the future gym I will have, it will be available for men of all ages, but you really need to be serious. No dicking around, no nothing. You need to go in there and just lift. Okay, that's all you need to do. All right. Yeah. I say you can't have a conversation, ha ha he here and there, but that's not your primary objective here. Okay, we're not like these model women just going onto the lifts just to look at their social media and talk with their friends. That's not why you're here. You're here to get them gains.
Another thing that's super annoying about the gym is how come you always have that one old dude that hangs out naked in the locker room? You never actually see him in like the gym. He just like hangs out naked in the locker room. It's like, bro, you just fucking hang out here for 8 hours all day, chilling naked.
Well, he's probably homeless.
But why's he got to hang out naked?
I don't know.
His clothes are in the washer.
There's this fucking old dude at my gym. Any time of the day I go there, he's like just chilling in the locker room, fucking naked. It's like, bro, I'm going to kill you one day if I have to keep looking at your old ass wrinkly balls.
Why are you looking?
And what's it called?
He's always like conveniently by the locker I need to.
All right, and enough about the old man. It's getting disgusting. Then he will sell millions of units to finance his own UCW show studio. Yeah, and definitely expect the gym in there. So yes, must have a boxing ring. Yes, I believe boxing is the best form of cardio. Right? Yeah, you could run around aimlessly, but I believe you can learn multiple things and work on your cardio with boxing. So,
Actually, kind of on that note, any thoughts on HEMA?
the
What's
hell's
that?
Oh wow!
It's wrestling.
No. Historical European
Oh.
martial arts, basically kendo for the West.
I've never heard of something
never-
like that before.
I
Yeah,
heard
me
of that
neither.
because
It's like you get in a bunch of armor and you fight with swords and shit.
Oh, is that like
Oh.
fencing thing?
No, it's
no,
not fencing foils, actual swords.
well,
So
they're
you're
not.
talking
Rapiers,
about
not rapiers,
jousting
broadswords.
Yeah, jousting and all
Well,
that.
it's not
crazy
only
one-on-one
broadswords,
fighting
you use-
and maces. Well, not maces. Yeah, maces,
Yeah.
morning stars.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
jousting's
yeah.
more for horseback. No, like this is like melee weapons.
Yeah, I've seen that before. I it's outdated in my opinion, unless we go back to using swords. I think that would be a good thing to learn.
Well, even if it's outdated, it's still good to learn.
Well, you
In
can
my
argue
opinion.
that. Well,
Is
like
it good
let's be honest.
exercise?
Hey, if we had open carry laws for swords, it wouldn't be outdated.
True, I agree.
All right, so when would you say is the best time to do cardio? Do you guys know?
So you saying time?
Yeah.
For me,
First thing in the morning.
at first thing in the morning.
Yep. The two best times to do cardio is fasted cardio. You wake up in the morning on an empty stomach and do like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, or you do it after your workout. Those are the two best, most effective times to do cardio for fat loss.
Yeah, I don't do cardio as much anymore, but when I did, definitely early in the morning. I'm talking about like 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Yep.
I
And that's a great way to start your day too. I bet you felt like super awake after that, because anytime I did fasted cardio super early in the morning, I felt amazing for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Now, though, I would,
what's up?
depending on when you do your workout, though, like I've heard, don't do it in the evening or afternoon, even because it messes with your sleep cycle.
You just don't want to do cardio before your like weight training workout, because this is why you want to do cardio after your weight training workout. So you're going to burn a ton of glycogen during that lifting session. So if you do cardio right after, it pretty much goes straight for the fat. So you don't want to use up all that glycogen on just cardio. So that's why you do it after your lifting session.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And when it comes to cardio, you don't have to run to do your cardio. Once again, right? Boxing, that works. Jump
Yep.
rope. You know, I used to do a little bit of jump rope.
And honestly, you don't really have to do any cardio at all. Like, yeah, you should for a healthy heart, but it's all about manipulating calories. So if you're in a caloric deficit and you're just lifting or doing calisthenics, that's really all you need to do.
And if you truly want to work on cardio without running, lower weight, higher reps, and don't take any breaks in between.
You
That's
have like a
good cardio.
circuit training.
Yes, but my favorite form of cardio, right? It is not boxing, is 30-60s.
What's that?
Sprints. You run for oh, what's up?
Sir Yeetus, I need to go soon, so I'm gonna interject about earlier and some stuff before I leave. Dip.
Okay.
All right. What I did with that was basically I take objective reality and versus subjective reality, and I apply pragmatism to the goals, and I take away the emotional riffraff that adds extra steps to get that goal. That's what I did, and most people don't really like pragmatism, but like feminists and all that, it's more like a Machiavellian viewpoint, which most people don't actually like. And also, there's this channel I like when it comes to nutrition. I think you guys should look into a little bit. It's called What I've Learned. That's the channel name.
I haven't heard of that one.
All right.
So-
You can speak shit about whatever about me. I don't care. Have a good night.
No. Hold up. We don't. Relax. Yeah, we understand.
No.
we have a
I mean, I
different
don't
view.
mind if he does whatever you do.
Yeah, it's all good. You know, we need to have these type of conversations. That's what I always say. So
Well, it's a very common thing when you start talking like pragmatism and all that.
well,
Just like patriarchy, you get a lot of riffraff.
I'm looking up the definition
For it.
right now. Well, an approach that assesses the truth of meaning of theories or beliefs in terms of the success of their practical application.
Yeah, I wouldn't describe what you described your own thoughts earlier as pragmatic. So
Okay, what I was saying was that you're basically the emotional riffraff of you. Basically, your goal was to eat the meat. The emotional riffraff and what you do to make yourself feel better in between that doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, killing animals for fun and kicking them.
You see, that's
Well,
where we disagree. You're saying
I said as long as you I don't care how you kill an animal as long as you use it.
Okay, yeah, and I say that how you kill the animal and how your society kills animals affects your survival, which ultimately is the reason you're eating the meat in the first place.
So is pragmatism pretty much taking emotion out of the subject?
It's the most
Somewhat.
logical.
So just purely logical.
It matters. It's some of it's like it matters if you applies it to like if you take multiple standpoints and look at it, the pragmatism according to those views. But then you when you take a certain view, it might be just you using your subjective wants to get to a certain desired result that you want, or you just look at the results and go with that. You
Okay.
want.
Okay. Now I'm seeing what you're saying about pragmatism, and yeah, we all are trying to be pragmatic, but we know we're not gonna exclude emotion that applies.
Now, here's the difference. To be pragmatic, you can exclude emotion from yourself and look at it objectively. But you cannot say that every human is going to do that. You have to factor
Actually,
in
to be
emotions.
pragmatic, you can look at people and their emotions and include that into it.
Yeah, that is why I'm saying, yes, it does make a difference what you kill and why on a larger scale, because it affects the emotions of the larger population, which in turn has a tangible result on your own survivability.
So, Greg, do you agree with this? What Work Can Do said?
Who's talking right now?
To a certain extent. I see that the method we use for consuming meat nowadays, hunting them ethically and not brutally, is essential for the development of a modern society and the maintenance of it. And that having and being able to differentiate between taking one life over another is important in terms of the consequences of it, again, for the survival of the individual and the environment that sustains said individual.
I agree. I definitely agree with that one. And once again, hell, we can actually talk about stoicism and pragmatic. We can talk about those ideologies. That's actually a very good conversation to have.
Can't wait for the vegan one, dude. That one should be interesting.
But pragmatic man, thank you for joining, and thank you for joining your point of view on that subject.
All right. There's a reason why it's pragmatic man.
Yeah, I see. I'm seeing it now. I see why you had that point of view.
Yeah, it's literally one of the things that led me to like this sort of spear is like the information on it all led to this logically.
All right, man. We definitely
For
going
me.
to have a stream about that in itself. So that'll be a good conversation. But
All right, have a good night.
peace out,
Night.
man.
Good night, Warband.
Night.
Good night. Interesting. I never really thought about pragmatic tism, whatever.
Pragmatism?
I never really put like a lot of thought into that type of philosophy. So that's a good conversation to have. I know what the word
You can
means.
think
but
you can think like that, but it depends how you act. Just actions matter in the end. You can have good intentions, but no one gives a fuck what happens if you fuck up.
True.
Yeah. No.
See, I can't wait for you to do the vegan video. There's going to be so many people freaking out.
Well, it's going to be great. But Gray, what'd you say?
Yeah, I don't disagree with pragmatism as an idea, but the way that he would describe his pragmatism, I wouldn't even have called what he was saying pragmatism. It went just to a very weird.
Yeah, I don't think he was doing it right.
I was thinking he was bringing in nihilism on top of that and treating every single life as equal, and it's like, no, that's where it's like I was like, if the act doesn't matter, the consequences of the act are what matters. Therefore, what you kill and why you do it, and if you industrialize said killing, the way in which it's industrialized, they all have an effect. And you need to structure it so that it gives you the optimal results, which, as living creatures, all of us want to survive. Like, that is our objective. We all want to live. So therefore, we all want to live in a society or environment that allows us to live.
To propagate.
Ideally to propagate, but before we can propagate, we must
Yeah, you
first
have to survive. Yeah.
So you need to think, what are the consequences of these various actions? So you can't make slaughterhouse killing something that every single person does, because that has a negative consequence on the societal structure due to the damaging the psyche of various people. Like, it doesn't matter how pragmatic you want to be. That's going to f with your head on a chemical level.
Yeah,
You
everyone
can't
can't be working as a slaughterhouse person.
Yep.
They
And
could
like I said,
probably kill-
I worked with a dude that used to work at a slaughterhouse, and he had the gun that you like fucking jabbed the cow in the head, and yeah, that guy gave me like serial killer type vibes. So
Well,
Yeah,
that's technically what he is.
You
But
can't-
Gray, you put it together a lot better than I could have understood, because I'm like, I didn't get where he was going. Like, it was pretty difficult for me to navigate through that. I'm like, okay, like I'm getting lost here. Like, what's your conclusion?
That's why after I had him give his big thing, I didn't even really bother trying to argue it, because he'd gone so vague and down so many different points. I can't counter any individual one of his points without him bringing up something else to counter what I said. And then when I asked him to solidify it, he couldn't. So
yeah,
there was more than one
He can have his own views,
saying.
but it helps a lot. It helps
Yeah.
a lot to have a sensible argument behind it. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I wanted him to clarify his views, and I'm thinking he doesn't completely understand his own views because he can't accurately explain it to someone else.
Right, because if it doesn't make sense, maybe you need to go back to the drawing board, and because if you can't dumb it down, then you probably don't know enough about that subject.
Yeah. So that's why I was just like, here, chat, witness this, come to your own conclusions.
No, come to
But-
my conclusions.
Yes,
Hey,
no,
guys,
everyone in
I'm
chat
about
should
to-
agree with me all the time forever.
I'm about to jump off. I'm about to go get some food. So
All right, man. Peace out, Poonie T.
yeah, Puniti. But before I go, there's no excuse. Everybody should be doing some sort of resistance training, whether it be calisthenics, weight training, you should be doing something. There is no excuse just to be a lazy, fat piece of shit that doesn't move. Like, you should be doing something, especially
Unless you're a literal potato.
like what, like right now we live in a crazy world. Like, you want to be in shape for whatever is going to come.
I agree 1,000,000%. Like, this is no joke. All right, we're not saying, oh, rah rah masculinity. We're giving you a stern, highly suggestive advice. Get fit, because your life may depend on it.
Oh,
And
your life
you
will
never
always
know.
depend on it.
You could be walking down the street and somebody could try to like take you out one day. And if you're too weak to defend yourself, like, that's on you.
But having, once again, because fight or flight, that's a feeling that not too many people actually experience it in the full extent. If you know that you can't take that person on, you should be able to at least outrun that person. Being fit is very important, whether it's to hold your own or retreat. It's important. So,
Yep. But I'm gonna bounce. Nice talking to you guys.
all right, man.
Mhm.
Peace out.
Peace out, Hermit.
Peace. Punite.
Punity. So,
Alright.
Where do you go? Hold up.
Ooh.
Real talk, man. What's going on? $5 super chat. For those of you who need motivated before squat, just play RPM's intro. RPM is another, I'll say, red pill channel. You should go check him out. I highly suggest you, because he's he's a million times more raw than I am. He doesn't hold back with this stuff. Just play RPM's intro with the dude jumping off the train in flames. Makes me want to throw some bow. Yeah, his intro is very on some masculine shit. So
I think they did say that certain music helps people perform better in exercises. I'm not sure what type of music, but it's definitely high tempo music from what I remember.
Yep, high tempo, high energy. It's just get that blood pumping. Which is mainly rock and hip hop.
See,
Maybe death metal as well, but
yeah. Also, just been tabbing through some stuff. Chronic may cover this later. It's slightly off topic, but guess who's back?
Oh no! Wait!
Oh yeah, he's back.
Oh, he's back! Oh, I forgot. Yeah, he's back. Does he really believe that the internet's gonna forget? Really?
Well, the internet won't forget, but some new people will come in. That's what they're always betting on.
Ready the meme cannons, boys.
Oh, and is his live stream on right now?
I don't know.
Because they were doing a live stream. Hold up, on a different channel. I have to find it. But
the one that he was on last time was Benjamin A. Boyce.
What?
Yeah.
See, my name's just like I read to some French flight tower's name, but that's my accident. But what the hell is Benjamin A. Voice? Like, can you just short it down like Benjamin's voice?
Just some random dude.
Benjamin A. Boyce, Boyce.
Oh,
so is he having an upcoming stream? Can you check that?
Yeah, I'm checking it now.
Yeah, people are saying it might be an upcoming stream or something like that.
No, there was one 4 hours ago with Cuck Murphy on the cover.
Fuck. We missed it. But in all seriousness, that is going to be a hilarious. Oh, Chronic is going to tear him apart.
No, but you know what's extra hilarious? Sorry, this is actually funny.
What's up?
This guy's got fewer subscribers than Ribby.
Oh boy. Is he going to speak about how alpha everybody is and all that stuff? And, that'd be so embarrassing.
I don't know, Manic. You have to watch this stream. You're the one with the extendable brain cells.
Manic, you got a new mission. MGTOW out of time. Take it from an older guy. Health is very important. Take care of it. Stay active, eat properly, and take care of your dental. All of that is 1,000,000% correct. 1,000,000% correct.
Honestly, I'm just gonna say this. Every guy Get a bunch of those freaking like floss sticks and just keep some on hand or in your pocket at all times. Like,
Yeah.
do not underestimate the importance of flossing.
Get
Mhm.
some type of metal toothpick or something, just in case you don't have any type of access to floss your teeth. Get
Nah,
something
floss is better.
that can last. I know, but I'm saying if things hit the fan.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, at that point, you can kind of make do with like scraps of wood or some shit. But no, these little dental pick things that have floss suspended between like two plastic tines, you can get them in bulk for really cheap, and they'll do great.
Yeah, I
Use
got
them
like 800 of them or 1,000 right
yeah.
now. Yeah, I brush my teeth 2 times a day. So,
Oh, you're supposed to brush your teeth 2 times a day.
Well,
oh
actually,
shit, you'd be
now,
surprised how many people
Okay.
don't brush for months.
well,
Ugh.
okay, actual funny pop quiz. What is the intention behind flossing and brushing?
Well,
Well,
flossing is to get between the teeth the gaps, because normally you eat and you brush your teeth, you don't really get between those gaps, and plaque can build up enough to decay, so on. Brushing is to technically just brush off or scrape off the plaque that's there before it becomes more bacteria, and bacteria eats up your teeth.
yep.
Incorrect.
Okay, tell me.
What?
It is to introduce oxygen to the bacteria, because the bacteria are anaerobic. They die
Okay.
when exposed to oxygen. So what you're really doing is you're trying to get oxygen in and around the bacteria. Yeah, picking it out is one thing, but the brushing and flossing is meant to get oxygen in there to kill the bacteria, which cause plaque buildup in cavities in the first place.
Oh, I learned something new today.
I was close.
No, that's the thing. You're definitely close, but it's a very subtle difference.
But I'm gonna see if I can invite anybody else, and if not, then we're just gonna call it here. And thank
Yep.
you everybody that did super chats or donated. All right, very appreciative. If you still want to join to talk, go ahead. But we'll wait a few minutes. Carry on.
Well,
We
yeah.
need to talk about your working out. Do you go to the gym? Not as much.
Nah, I started like I'm not in that great shape, so I started doing swimming to get back into shape, because I used to do when I was younger, swimming and track and field. So I started doing those again to build up my. I have asthma, so I have bitch lungs. So yeah, asthma is like, so I'm just doing swimming to build up that right now. I do a little bit of like body weight exercises and so on. So
Okay.
yeah,
So calisthenics. What's your favorite? Push-ups, sit-ups.
I like sit-ups. But I'm fine with squats. I don't really matter. It's weird because like I'm more used to doing like more track. I'm not used to like upper body exercises. I'm more used to lower body exercises. So yeah, lower body
Okay.
exercises are more of my thing.
For me, for calisthenics, I'm still trying to work on my muscle ups. I can do like 3. That's it. I'm not that fit yet. You guys know what muscle up is, right?
No.
No, actually.
I'm pretty sure if I got the name correctly, is when you on the pull-up bar, you pull yourself up, but then you get to the point where your waist is level with the bar, so you keep pulling higher and higher, pretty much. So let's say you do a pull-up, and then you switch positions where you can do a dip all the way to the top, and then you go back down. I'll show you guys a video later. But
That makes sense. I just don't have a high enough ceiling for that.
no, I did it at the park a few times. So
That's actually extremely practical if you need to like vault over a high fence or a wall.
Shit, I used to do that a lot when I was younger.
Well,
Or fall over fences.
and just to get something in chat, so taking a hit of oxygen gas at the end of a meal, that won't do it because it's the fluid on your teeth that is acting as a protective layer. The brushing and the flossing are meant to get past that fluid layer.
But hey, since I guess nobody wants to join, right? You guys are just chilling, wait for Chronic, Lord Kush, to do his stream. Do you guys have anything to say, carry on, about the subject?
Yeah, what's your thoughts on gymnastics? Just in general.
I think it's beyond impressive.
Yeah, like if I could go back in time and do one sports or anything, I'd probably do gymnastics.
Especially those rings things, like those you know what I'm talking about, where they
Yeah.
suspend. Yeah, that is beyond impressive. Holy crap. Like that looks beyond difficult.
Because they seem like they have a decent amount of balance, decent amount of strength and stamina altogether. It's like a pretty good physique to have in general. They get real bulky at times. I see some real bulky gymnasts.
Yeah, and like what Ali Herman said, it's pretty much advanced calisthenics. Yeah, because in order to do all the flippity floppity, all that crazy stuff, you got to have a good sense of control, a good sense where your body is at all times. Like it's
And an
insane.
extremely developed core.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah, your core has to be borderline pro athlete. Like
Actually, I knew.
Oh, what's
I
up?
think I knew this guy when I was in school. He did gymnastics, taekwondo, and swimming from like a young age, and he was just always in shape. It was like crazy. Like he didn't look big if he wore clothes, but when you saw him not wear, it's like okay, he's defied. But I was pretty young at the time, so it was definitely around when I was 14 to 16 when last time I didn't see him. So yeah,
I will not be able to do gymnastics. My balance it sucks. It's not
you should
good.
be good at it. You have a low set of gravity, so you should be pretty
Well,
good.
True, but when it comes to the flippity floppity thing, nah, I break my neck.
Well, if you did it from a child, it's like you have to build up it's all in the ears technically. Like sense of balance is mostly in the ears. It's like a small liquid.
Shit, so I dislocate both of my shoulders and elbows and stuff, and like screaming in agony on the ground, like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, that'll be me. That'll be me. Because gymnastics, I commend people that are able to do that.
Do you know what's strange? Like when you think about gymnastics, you think like, oh, women are generally bad at gymnastics. Technically, not true. Men can do more strained, like more techniques and higher feats in gymnastics compared to women. It's just like you just never think about it.
I definitely agree. And like I said before, all the flippity floppity things, it is not easy whatsoever.
Yeah.
So
well, I think it also kind of it's the same category as figure skating. Gymnastics tends to be very performative and somewhat subjective in nature. So women are able to do significantly better in it than they would if it was a purely technical sport.
man, do you know how dizzy I'll get if I was on the, you know how they swing on the
poles?
pull-up bars? Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'll get dizzy. I'll get dizzy and break my neck on that. I commend it. Like once again, of course, men and women are different, but I always give women their dues that they're impressive with that shit.
Oh
so,
yeah,
because they're not the average person. Like you can say, like in any way.
If you've ever honestly Cirque du Soleil, if you ever catch any of those, like holy shit, the physical athleticism on display at Cirque du Soleil performances goes way over people's heads, literally and metaphorically.
You're doing some French shit right now. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
No. It's not even French carry on. It's French Canadian shit.
French Canadian shit.
See, I knew it sounded French because it didn't make that much sense to me, but I knew how French sounds. So it's like the pseudo French. Mm-hmm.
But hey, you guys are good. You know, we're going to end it right here.
Yeah. I got to pound away this Elden Ring video to try to get it done for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He's talking about heroin. Gray takes heroin, man.
Okay, but hey guys, thank you for joining again. We're just going to end it here. Chat, I'm about to spam Manic, the Manic Mechanics channel. Go to his live stream. I repeat, go to his live stream. This is Sir Yeetus. Hopefully you guys had a good amount of gems that we dropped today. And we are out. Peace.
Peace out, Warband.